defenseman picks it up, passes it up to a forward.
With like 7 seconds to go.
Goes to coast.
You can't camembert. I'm trying to work it out.
I can just go for a little stroll.
Yeah. Cheese.
Max Goof was my first crush. He's a dog.
Are we having fun though?
Yeah.
Living the dream with the boys at Chucky Slick.
That's funny. You're a funny guy.
That would be.
The Edmonton Oil.
Dude, I touched my eye again! It hurts!
Honolulu.
You guys are so loud for people who are agreeing with each other.
Yeah.
God, I do hate the player.
Sadly, the Flames did not luck out with their with the Utah game against St. Louis and the Duck game against the Wild.
I feel like he should be sad about that, and you should be over the moon.
We'll get into it.
You get used to it. You get used to it, I promise.
But on this show, we are going to talk about the Flames, what they might do in the offseason. We're going to talk about the UFA market, a couple of retirements, the Calgary Hitmen's playoff performances recently, the NHLPA player poll, as well as some women's hockey. But
we got
first,
a big show coming.
We do have it's not going to be fairly long. Oh, also, after the show, I interviewed Kyle Walker before the show here, so I'll just be thrown out the end. I loved talking to him. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was younger than me.
He's what, a fourth year?
He's 24.
Of course, he's older than me.
Speaking of 24-year-olds, happy birthday, Dustin Wolf. We love you.
He's old.
We do.
He's 18.
He's 24.
Practically past his prime.
Who's your favorite player again?
He's young at heart.
He's like 90 million years old. Anyway, about like 3 months ago, I swore twice on the show, which means I owe donuts. We started a tradition last time Tim Hortons had their cards out that instead of donuts, we were going to do these live on the air. So I, along with this lovely French vanilla with an extra espresso shot, picked up some packs of these rookie retrospective cards. I think it's really cool that they've got the PWHL involved in this.
Yeah.
I
think that's awesome. Alex, you're already dialed. Let's
What'd you get?
Let's get right into it. What do you got?
All right, so I got a Nazem Kadri.
No way. That's sick. Oh, wow, that's a baller card.
Rookie year 2010 with the Leafs.
So that's a normal card. I'm gonna look at the odds here. We're gonna base on who gets. We're gonna see who gets the best pack based on odds.
Cool.
Why?
I got a celebrated prodigies.
Oh, 106.
Luke Schenn.
Oh.
Back when the Leafs logo was terrible.
It's a cool card though.
And I've also got noted locker room cancer. Started his career with the Rangers. Went to Canucks and is now back with the Rangers.
Oh, can I see that one?
Jet Miller. No, that's okay. Well, I guess I have my other two here.
Phil, you can go there.
I like the Kadri one. The
Kadri looks pretty good.
Actually look
I'm actually going to put the Kadri one in front.
That Kadri one's really nice.
Sorry, that guy's just.
There we go.
Ooh.
That guy was just.
I'll trade you for the card for. Never mind.
Oh, there we go.
I see a P-Dub card on the bottom.
There's a P-Dub card on the bottom.
Ooh.
First one I got is Mr. Connor Hellebuck, rookie year 2015. Another banger looking card.
Yep.
Whoa, this one's like 3D. Oh, this one's cool. I don't know where I'm going to put this. I'm just going to put it there. A starting success.
Oh, you got a 1 out of 24. Look at that.
From the Winnipeg Jets, Keith Tkachuk.
Actually?
That's pretty sick.
That is a banger card.
Cool.
That is so cool.
That is actually a 1. What does it say on the back? That's sick.
Making his NHL debut on February 28th, 1992, Tkachuk set up a second period power play goal as the Jets skated against the Canucks. That's a cool card.
That's a really cool card.
And then, honestly, one of my favorite PWHL players from the Toronto Scepters,
Emma Malte,
whose logo would definitely look a lot better if it was a basketball team, and the top of the scepter was
It's a shame no one said that before.
Rookie year 2024, Emma Malte.
Ooh.
Banger.
Yeah.
I'm happy. That's a sick pack.
That's a solid pack.
This Keith Tkachuk card is so sick. So I think I'm winning.
Yeah,
If you're going by
I think you're up.
So I got JB Ben.
I do like
normal.
the Couture card though.
I think Casey might fight you for that.
The Jamie Benn card. Yeah.
I got a Zach Hyman initial strides.
Oh, we should give that to Braden. Big callback.
What?
It's kind of a cool card though. It's reflective.
Drafted by Florida Panthers.
Oh, I did not.
I'm trying to see what. I don't think. What is it? This initial strides. Oh, 1 out of 3. T.
Basic.
And what are the Suns? Matthew
No
Tkachuk.
way.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
There we go.
See, what's cool about this is, you literally have your rookie, like Flames, and then
That is cool.
That is sick.
That is cool.
Just with this guy, you have Dallas and Dallas.
Back when
with
the jersey was horrible.
Mine
and it's
stayed
still
the same,
horrible.
except
That's debatable.
mine one is Toronto, obviously the Toronto Raptors, and one is the Jets with Hellebuck. So
I don't know why this looks so weird to me now.
What?
Just him in a.
In the
Toronto jersey.
Leaf jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought of the Luke Shen one too.
I'm actually digging this Keith Tkachuk card.
Phil wins.
Phil does win. Congrats to Phil.
Alex, you lose because you got sneaky JT now.
I don't know. The casual one's
And
pretty
like
redeeming.
one of the few PWHL players I could name.
I can name pretty much the Canadian ones and Hillary Knight.
I can name Evan Malte and Blair Turnbull and
Sarah Nurse.
Play?
Philly play.
and Mary. She's in the P. I thought she like retired.
Nope, she's in. She plays Montreal.
Chloe.
No, she's not in the PW yet.
She's
no,
not.
but that's
She will be.
That's just someone I know.
She'll get there.
Chloe Primerano,
That's I cannot say her last name. That's why I just said Chloe.
legend. Anyway, that was fun. I win.
Can someone swear again soon? Someone more cocky.
Let's talk about not fun things.
The Calgary Flames.
Calgary Flames.
Wompity womp.
Man, I will say though, they did in the lead up to the end of this season. We look back at this schedule. Obviously, they dropped the rough one against the Ducks, and we've talked a lot about I think it was the Vegas game and then the Utah game, and obviously the Dallas game a little bit before that. We talked a lot about it and about how honestly the hockey gods just didn't look at them right because, I mean, I still think two of those goals were goals. They obviously weren't, and now if they were, we probably would be in playoffs. But looking at the streak, they knew they had to go in and beat San Jose. Obviously, they did that. Then they went in. They knew they had to beat Minnesota, which was the big kind of marquee game, and they did it decidedly in a very, very strong game where they knew exactly what they needed to do. That I loved watching that game. Then they went against the Sharks again, and then that shootout win against the Vegas Golden Knights last night in what I'm assuming was very sad situations in that last third period. But I know we were all sad because I was working, and we had the Flames game on most of the TVs, sound on for the Flames game, and then we had the other two games on like alternating TVs as well. And just the vibe just went.
Yeah. Just the air is completely out of the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they scored with
unfortunate.
What, 30. Obviously, overtime didn't matter.
It was like 30 seconds for the
the 19th minute and the 38th second. So you had 22 seconds.
22 seconds to hold.
Brutal.
And then I thought it was cool that they brought Marc-Andre Fleury in.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
That was fun.
I
like
watched the overtime, and it was literally like everything that makes Fleury. He just did in that. Like he did a diving poke check, saves it. They hit the post, and then mid play while the Ducks, because they're on Ducks are on a power play. While the Ducks circle back, he takes his stick out of his hand and pats the post. Like mid play.
I love that. I love Fleury. We're going to miss him a lot. But luckily,
the crowd was just chanting Fleury.
But we're going to get to see him. Do you think he gets to start a playoff game at all?
No.
Unless Gustafsson
gets hurt.
What if they're going into like...
I mean,
you really don't think so?
I mean...
He's pretty good at
Okay,
it.
So here's where I would imagine he would get in a playoff game. It is the Stanley Cup Finals. Minnesota's up two with 10 seconds left.
Bold of you to assume they get there. But sure.
Here's what I'm saying the situation is. Minnesota's in the Stanley Cup Finals. They're up 2 with 2 seconds left, and they're in the cup clinching game. There's an icing. There's icing or whatever. You pull a Gustafsson and you put in Fleury for the last 10 seconds.
Can you change a goalie on icing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not on you.
Yeah. It was not on you. Yeah.
It's not on you.
I mean,
okay, pick a stoppage play, like an offside. I don't care.
Penalty.
To be fair though, like with Pittsburgh's cup run in 2017, Matt Murray gets hurt. Who backstops the first 2 series wins is Fleury.
Yeah.
So, and obviously he still can play. He's not what are his stats this year?
Yeah. The other option I see is Minnesota goes into this, and then they have a series where they go down to 0-3 in a row.
And you just think
and you think you need to switch it up.
Yep.
I was about to say he's got 2
It's
shots.
possible.
Well, listen, he's got 2 shutouts his past 2 games. He's made a combined 8 saves in those 2 games.
Yeah, I was about to say.
What's his time on ice in that?
But it is cool that
Like 6 minutes?
the game against Anaheim counted as a win for him.
Yeah.
So
But it probably would it not also count as a win for?
no, it's because
No.
no.
Ah.
So
I mean, fair enough.
he's played 26 games, 14 wins, 1 shutout, 2.93 goals against, 8.99 save percentage. Ironically, still better than one of your favorite teams, all their goalies, and my favorite team's goalies.
Something I wanted to mention. Something I mentioned
And
before
one
the
of your
show.
team's goalies.
Yeah.
Something I mentioned before the show about something that made me mad about the Flames. Looking at the standings, no, there goes my hat. That's fine. Was that I made a big deal about their OTLs last show.
Right.
They're OTLs?
Overtime losses.
Just keep up.
Really?
My bad.
Holy cow.
I just say overtime losses. I don't say OTLs. Not for you like that.
I mean, yeah, it's only saving 1 syllable.
I know if ifs and buts were cannons enough, we've had a Merry Christmas, but
What did you
I'm
just
not-
say?
but
if
what
ifs
just
and
came out of
buts
your mouth?
were cannons and nuts, we'd have a Merry Christmas.
That's crazy.
Sure, we'll go with that.
In any event,
glad you
if,
did- I'm glad you didn't
I was
understand
like-
it either.
I heard that. I was like, that was not English.
if we ended up tying the Blues in overtime losses, and we ended up winning the differential of 6 games, so we had 6 more overtime losses than the Blues did.
Yep.
If we ended up winning those games,
We're in playoffs.
we would have had 6 extra points. We would have gotten the 3rd division spot.
That's wild, actually. That's pretty crazy.
Like Minnesota?
Calgary to finish with 100 points, and
We would've beaten
Edmonton still has the game in hand, but they have 99 points.
I mean, obviously, and then that's an estimate. We don't know how
Yep.
many. I don't, off
Yep.
the top of my head, I can't imagine anyone does. Knows what if those overtime losses were
Yeah,
against
we're
those
against-
teams
I mean-
ahead of you and stuff. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just Neil exercise of I yelled about it on the Instagram reel. It's execution,
it was execution.
and didn't have it this year. They have a huge amount of cap space, which we'll get into a little bit later. So I expect Craig Conroy to make some moves. There's been a lot of players that have been speculated to be out. There's been one player that's explicitly told that he's going to be out on his team as well. I'm hoping it's going to be an active offseason, but let's
I'm sure
talk
it will
about
be.
the past few games here.
Oh, dude. There was this website was so good because I clicked on it, but it's got a bad gateway. Because it literally explained top to bottom where teams' playoffs or cap space was. Gosh darn it.
So since last show,
3 games, all wins.
3 games, all wins.
Remember what
the
you
biggest
said it was
one
gonna be?
was Minnesota.
Remember what you said it was going to be? You said we were going to go 0-3,
yeah, I did.
and
I'm
I
sorry.
said we were going to go 3-0.
Oh, hey, it worked.
Yeah.
So Calgary, that is terrifying. So Winnipeg is 3rd for most cap space going into this offseason. Carolina's 4th.
Whoa!
Calgary is 6th with 34 million. Oh, that's all. 34 million cap space. It was actually spot
You're
on.
telling me Puckpedia's wrong?
So the team with the lowest cap space going into the offseason is Colorado and Tampa with 7 mil, but that makes sense.
Where's Minnesota?
19th with 19 mil. You'd be surprised. Montreal at 11 mil.
Aren't they getting a bunch back soon? Though,
I was about to
too?
say, does that include their 14 million dead cap?
Which ends going into next season, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think next season is the year where it's like, or I think it's only
It
like
goes
3
up.
mil next year or something.
But yeah, so San Jose is the most. Makes sense. For all our teams, so Dallas is 25th with 13 mil this offseason. Flyers are 9th with 28 mil. Pittsburgh is 14th with 22 mil. Oh, thank God. But yeah, it makes sense. Usually, that's what makes Winnipeg a little scary because usually bad teams have a lot of cap space, not good teams.
Yeah, that's true. That's odd because like
But it does
Puckpedia says we're gonna have 18 mil, so I don't know what the calculations are based on that, but whatever.
This is for the off season as well.
Yeah, my question, because we were looking at the games that were coming up, they obviously played very well against Minnesota. They played against the Sharks, and I think they played really, really good last night as well. The one thing I want to ask you guys as hockey players,
Was this one you brought up before?
Yes.
The show? Okay. Yeah.
second intermission, did they know?
Probably.
Yeah.
100%?
I think they knew.
Because I mean, again, I don't really know what an NHL locker room looks like. I don't play in the NHL, despite popular belief. If you saw my goal against Alex, you would know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like checking their phones and stuff during the intermission, or do
No,
they? I don't know.
but I think
Maybe Coronado does because he's a kid.
I think someone tells Huska tells them.
Or Huska makes the call.
Well,
to tell them or
I've
not.
seen people in the NBA literally.
Well,
just,
Huska, I'm sure knew.
like I've seen people in the NBA literally just turn around to fans and be like, "Can you pull up the score?" And fans just be like, "Sure."
Yeah. Well, that's different.
Yeah.
There's no glass in between.
Well, I guess you could just knock on like a fan or like look behind you and be like, "What's the score?" They also
yeah,
have.
but I think that would look.
They also
pretty
have
bad.
scoreboards.
Yeah, they
up top.
have the out of town scoreboard in the corner too.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think
Do you
think
think they
do.
would have known?
I
Because
think
then they
do.
went out. Because I was talking to like my coworkers last night, and I was like, "What is going to happen here? Are they going to come out and just be god awful, or are they going to come out with a vengeance?" And they came out with a vengeance.
Yeah, they still got outshot to hell, but
But Dustin Wolf's the goat, baby.
Yeah.
yeah, 42 shots, allowing 4 of them. Calgary only got 1 shot in overtime.
Yeah, that was. And I went, wait, what? Oh yeah, went to shootout. I still think Dustin Wolf deserves the Calder. If he played in the East, he would win it.
Calgary needed to make the playoffs. Calgary
still
needs to make
so
the playoffs for them for Wolf to even have a shot at the Calder.
He better still get a nomination.
I think he's a finalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Celebrini, Wolf,
Hudson.
Hudson.
Yeah.
because Mitch Cobb is kind of in there.
Yeah, Mitch Cobb was kind of held down by a coach who was no longer there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get an Adam Clapp jersey at some point.
Yeah, Adam Klapka's been banger. Like
I've been big on him.
You've been big on him all season.
Yeah.
But like even like the past 3 weeks, he's been like on it.
He's been
He's
noticeable.
been flying. I mean, he got pulled up to the first line. I don't remember if that was the Wild game or the San Jose game, but he was first line.
Kadri sits on his goal in the Vegas game.
Yeah.
Kadri sits on his goal, which means they're on the same line.
Yeah.
Or it could be an off
Or
switch.
yeah, or just
Or an
like
off change.
a randomly like weird change, but still like you're either playing Kadri after Klapka or Klapka after Kadri.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Klapka, that kind of brings us to the cap discussion, if we want to go back onto that.
Sure.
Klapka is an RFA going into next season, if I have my dates right. Obviously, I think, if anything, the last 3 weeks have kind of proved that he deserves to be here, that he wants to be here. Give him some money.
So at the end of this season, Anthony Mantha is up.
Yep.
Okay, so let's play in or out.
And
We'll start with Mantha.
We'll start with Mantha.
I
think he's in because
We haven't really seen him at all this year.
but he played really well when he was
That's
able
true.
to play.
Yeah.
I loved him so far, and it's a shame that he got silent with an injury. I think he's in.
Yep,
didn't he
I
win a
agree.
cup?
Man, I think he won the Vegas.
Let me check.
I don't know.
Back checking. Vegas won in 2023, 2024.
2023,
2024?
Panthers 2024.
Oh, that gets confusing.
Just Google Anthony Mantha.
Just go to his hockey DB and see if there's a trophy next to his one of the teams.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
I'm gonna just keep rolling here with
No.
Morgan Frost.
He won a cup in the Q. That's about it. That's actually all he's won.
Washington. No?
He had 11 points in the World Juniors.
What year did Washington win it? Didn't
19
2018.
or wait,
18.
18. Blues 19.
so,
yeah.
so he likes going to teams immediately after they win cups.
Pretty much. He was
except for Calgary.
Oh, that's why I know him. He was on the Capitals for a while.
Yeah, he was.
make
Morgan
the same.
Frost.
Morgan Frost is in. I think
Yeah.
if you have to pick between Frost and Farabee, you're going with Frost.
Yep. I think Roondog is gone.
I hope Roondog is gone. He has not been very good. I think we can get a lot more talent to not necessarily take his place.
And even then,
I
like
think
you,
we already have talent that could be taken.
I was about to say, like
place.
you have a bunch of kids that you could just throw
Like
in
Cairns.
Kevin Rooney's spot.
Remember when we did that?
Yeah.
And Cairns did great.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we get to a bunch of ELCs with Matt Coronado in.
Absolutely. And Matt Coronado is going to get the bag thrown, not to the point of Dustin Wolf, but Matt Coronado is, we kind of talked about it a bit before we came live. He's one of the guys I have a prediction for. I want him to, I think you're at least looking at $2 million for Matt Coronado.
Connor Zary in.
And
Zari in as well. I think you're going to see Connor Zari and Matt Coronado on pretty much identical
I was about
contracts.
to say it's gonna be roughly the same.
Those are going to be $2-3 million contracts for 5-6 years.
Costco.
and
I want Costco in.
He was
not
really-
as much as not as much money as Zari and Coronado. I'm gonna probably looking at 1.5 because he was great at the beginning of the
I
season.
think you're overshooting a lot of these. They're also young players that haven't done a whole lot in the NHL, so they don't have much of a leg to stand on.
I think you do
There's a
Coronado.
good chance Coronado
you
could
want-
be signing like a mil for 2 years.
He deserves more than that.
You would want that.
I was thinking
he's-
Coronado and Zara are gonna be 2x2.
2x2.
I think you be cheap with Lazari and Matt Coronado because they're RFAs. So, and if any team offers them anything, Calgary automatically has a chance to offer whatever.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you want to be cheap with them.
I think you do because they're RFAs. You're guaranteed to keep them.
Yeah, but
unless-
those are the two guys that you want to have for a long time. You
Yeah.
want to make sure that those guys have a great relationship with your team.
Or you
So
keep them
give
cheap
them
for
money.
like 2 years and then get other players, and then when their contracts are up, you sign them for a longer term. When they're, because let's say you sign Coronado and Zari for 2 years at 1 mil, whatever. Zari then's 25, Coronado's 24. You sign them for 6 years. Then you have them till 31 and 30.
Why
Which
not
is
sign him
fine.
6 years now.
Yeah, give him
Because then you're gonna, because there's a good chance that they're gonna want. And let's say they do go really, really well. They're 28 years
Yeah.
old, and now they're wanting 7,
10 million,
8 mil,
yeah.
9 mil.
and
10
you
mil.
would never.
Exactly. That's why.
You give them a short deal now, and then
There's only a
when
handful
they're-
of players
when
that
they're
can-
when they're getting into their prime, that kind of like from 25 to 28 area. That's when you throw the bag at them.
Fair enough. I think these are guys you want to lock down, and I think throwing maybe not like a huge bag, but throwing a bit bigger than a mil a year for these guys is, I think it's worth it as an investment into Zari and Coronado.
Dryden Hunt out.
Gone.
Who?
He's 29 years old. It's a younger team. He's gonna be gone.
Adam Klapka in.
In.
Yeah.
Klapka, Zari, Coronado, the future of the Calgary Flames.
Then
On
we
the forward line.
Yeah, until you get to the goal line.
come up to Kevin Ball.
You're also missing a defenseman, but sure.
Kevin Ball in.
Perrick. Yeah. That's next year though. He's still on the team.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
the end of next year.
no, it's the end of this year.
2025, 2026. He is another year. I hate
No.
doing 2 years things.
Look at this.
No.
That's it. That's the end of this year. So in 2025-26, he's an RFA.
Yeah, but he still plays.
No.
Oh my god, this hurts my brain. Yep, I'm wrong.
Yes.
Joel Hanley,
How old is he?
I mean, for
33.
No.
for league minimum.
Yeah, if he signs same contract, sure.
Yeah.
He wasn't overly offensive.
No. I mean, Kevin Ball, I'd say kind of a similar thing. You maybe keep him on the same contract.
Yeah, maybe a slight boost if he can, maybe 1.5 as opposed to 1.05. Maybe.
Yeah, I can see that.
if you want to.
I don't think you want to pay Kevin Ball more than Coronado or Zari.
No.
I'll take Kevin Ball's contract. Don't worry.
And then
Please.
Dan Vladar.
I don't know what to do with Dan Vladar. We kind of talked about it again before
We did.
the show started.
Yeah.
I disagree. I disagree with both of you.
Okay. What do you say?
I think how you treat Dan Vladar going into this contract discussion lays the ground rules for what you're going to be forced to do with Dustin Wolf, which is going to be pay him a lot more than you're paying Dan Vladar.
So sorry, in or out?
I don't know.
You got to pick one.
I could see it. I could very much see it both ways. I know God, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think if you want to really dive into the rebuild, which I know you want us to do,
yep.
out. Because then you bring up Cooley and you just say, screw it, let's have fun, let's let these kids figure it out. Especially with the signings that the Wranglers have done recently.
And if you're going again something like this year, which I think the Flames are going to do, you having 2 rookie goaltenders with little to no experience, except for maybe like a full season for Wolf under his belt, yeah, you're screwed. Vladar at least has some playoff experience, and you want some of that heading into a possible playoff series if you happen to do this.
I think Vladar's going to ask for more money, though, because when he's played this year, he's played pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I think if you give Vladar $3 million, what are you going to have to give Wolf next year?
Yeah.
I think they should get Tristan Jarry.
Nope.
I'll give you Tristan Jarry for Dan Vladar.
I think Vladar needs to be out.
Please.
I think you mentioned the recent signings that Calgary did for their goaltending in the A.
Yeah,
I think you run with a Cooley Wolf tandem.
The big one is Arseny Sergeyev, and I think he was the goalie that they signed. And then there was a couple others, but lots of option here for the Wranglers, who also clinched the playoff spot this year.
When does that start?
Soon.
It's pretty much like right in tandem with the NHL. Now we kind of shift
Do you imagine
into.
somehow in the finals it's like the Baby Pens versus the Wranglers in the AHL?
They're pretty neat.
That'd be pretty neat. I don't think the Wranglers are going to make the finals, though.
I think we have a good shot. The Baby Pens, because
Baby Pens look good.
Which is what you want to see. If your NHL team is bad, unless you're the Capitals, so your NHL team is good and your AHL team is good, you usually want it bad and then good. But then when you're good, your AHL team's bad.
Yeah.
So at least
Unless you're Calgary, and then you just be both.
mid.
Literally barely make the playoffs in the A, and then, or barely make the playoffs in the show, and then barely make. That's what I'm.
Oh, they have their agents. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Matt Duchene has the same agent. How many? Wait, Pat Brisson. Wait. That's not that guy, but sure.
What are we looking at? We're looking at who we think Calgary can take.
Well, not necessarily who they can take, but potential people that they could look at signing this offseason.
This guy represents a lot of hockey players.
Pat Brisson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes a lot of money.
Over the
be nice.
career,
Can I have
he's
some?
represented Luke Robitelli, Chris Chelios.
Robitaille.
Whatever. Represented 8 first overall selections. Oh, that's why I know. Crosby, Johnson, Kane, Tavares, McKinnon, Jack Hughes, Owen Power, Celebrini. He also represents Elias Pettersson, Jonathan Bernier, Carl Hagelin, miss him, Claude Giroux, Seth Jones, Kyle Okaposo, Andrew Shaw, Matthew Barzell.
That's if we got Okaposo, I would get an Okaposo jersey. That's a fun name.
He's retired.
Nice.
From like last year.
Maybe we should bring him back.
So
Oh my god, he makes bank!
let's look at the.
Say how much he
Oh my god, he makes bank!
Yeah.
that a year?
Pat Brisson? Yeah.
Dude, the
I
clients.
guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Kane,
like-
Crosby, and Taves.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I guarantee you he had a field day last year. It's like, Crosby, how much money you want? Blank check.
8.7.
Did you say dude? that quite literally saves our team from being just mid forever.
I think that's our title.
Had this discussion.
I think that's our show title, but that's fine. Douche.
Oh, he's actually the biggest agent in hockey.
Can we look at the UFA market now, please?
Yeah.
Dude,
Obviously,
sorry.
the biggest name up there is Mitch Marner.
Oh, he's gonna go leave or stay.
Yeah, let's play Leave or Stay.
Oh, I don't know these teams well enough to know.
Leave or stay.
So we got Mitch Marner in Toronto. I think he's staying.
I think he's probably going to stay as well.
I think all the puff around him leaving. I think that's all puff.
Do you think he makes more money?
Yeah.
How much is he's already making. Well,
He just hit his
cap hit is 10.9.
His career
That's
high.
Crazy.
He just hit his career high this year.
How old is he? He's not old.
27.
Oh, he's older than I thought.
Okay, so I guess it kind of plays into the thing you guys were just saying about Zary and Coronado. This is his time to get the bag. Although he already got a bag, he's making
In a
$11
dream world, he comes to Pittsburgh because I explained it on the show.
Dream world, he comes to Calgary.
Yeah, well, just because I only have it because of Dubas, and when he scored the overtime goal in the Four Nations, all he would talk about was how my dad would be so proud of me that I scored a goal off Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, but
I do
about
think he
how
stays.
fun it would be to score a goal off of someone on the Flames.
Nazem Kadri,
Nazem
former
Kadri.
Leaf.
Let me see if I could get an assist from
Jonathan
Jonathan
Huberdeau.
Huberdeau or Sidney Crosby. That's a hard
What
choice.
about an assist?
from Dustin Wolf? Yeah.
I'm getting predictable.
How about Tristan Jarr?
Gotta bring the
What's his on
Honolulu
that?
stuff back in.
Oh, we got to bring
So,
back Honolulu. I think Mitch Marner's going to Honolulu.
Mitch is smarter.
Mitch is staying.
Stay.
Matt Duchene.
Stay. No, you know how lucky he got.
Yeah, maybe.
Look at
Does
year
he
one-
had a good season.
Does he
though.
just leave?
No, because he had year 1 of 1. He's been with Dallas the past 2 years. He bet on himself this year, and it worked.
Does he leave?
No,
He makes more money though. I think
Pittsburgh do not.
he had a great season.
$3 million. You
he
think he
has-
makes more money?
He has $3 million.
1 year, $3 million.
Why do cheap players do so much better than expensive players?
Because the
The
expectation
Dak
is less
Prescott
on them.
effect.
Because if your expectations are low, then anything above that kind of low bar is going to be impressive. But if you have,
He did get his career high in assists.
Yeah,
yeah,
John Tavares stays.
John Tavares,
stays.
He goes back to the Islanders.
He's 34.
Oh, he stays.
He's got to take a massive haircut. 11 mil. He can't be paid
Yeah,
that
he's not
much.
going to be making that much.
He's talked about going to 8, which I think is fair.
What's his number? Maybe you should do a Crosby.
I don't-
91.
You could do 9.1.
Michael
Just that one
Granlund.
player who's just one.
Michael Granlund with the Stars.
He leaves.
Leaves.
I think he goes back to San Jose, low-key.
You think?
I'm also really mad at him because he's good or decent everywhere he goes, except the time he was on the Penguins.
Yeah, he was great on the Preds.
He was terrible on the Penguins, though. Like, just terrible. No, he leaves.
Nick Ehlers is something I want Calgary to be in on.
He wanted to leave, and now I don't know if he wants to leave anymore. Because, obviously, the Jets are...
A unit.
Yeah.
Banger.
So
for sure.
I'm going to say stay.
Why don't we dive into that a little bit? What do we think the Flames got to do to get Ehlers? What do we give up?
Pray...
Anderson?
Well, it's not
cow.
a trade.
A sacrificial
Oh,
cow.
right. He's UFA.
Yeah, he's a UFA, so you just wait till July 1st.
Or a sacrificial cow. And you pray.
We could give him the saddle.
So
I don't want to be like... I hate being like this, but you also got to think of the market that Calgary is. It does suck because Calgary is a bit on the lower end of being in a hockey market. People are going to want to go to Florida. They're going to want to go to Tampa. They're going to want to go to... Like, even though Winnipeg is the best team, like, there's a reason they have such low cap space because they don't get big players. They've just, like, built them up as they go.
living in Winnipeg sucks.
Living in Winnipeg sucks, but I mean, like, I get what you're saying about the market, but I think which is a weird thing. I mean, I'm gonna completely derail the discussion here. It's such a weird thing to talk about because
it's annoying.
What
yeah.
are NHL teams in Winnipeg and Calgary competing against? You look at Miami. They're competing with NFL. They're competing with NBA. They're competing with literally the big major sports.
Yeah.
You go to Calgary, they're competing against not even the CEBL because they're off seasons.
The Stampeders.
It's just that's
They're competing with the Roughnecks.
Yeah, they're competing with the Roughnecks, the Hitmen.
And the Hitmen.
Taxes became a big deal in it recently with like Florida, but like 10 years ago, the dream destinations were like LA,
Vegas.
Chicago, Pittsburgh, Vegas, Washington.
Yeah.
And Washington now because they're good again.
Yeah.
But like it's hard for like nobody when Crosby retires, nobody's gonna go to Pittsburgh because there's no want to be there. When a good player retires, like LA is good, but when big guys like Doughty and Kopitar leave, that's going to affect players wanting to come play for them because it's a mentor thing.
Yeah.
If you get a really good mentor, that's what draws young players, which then allows you to build.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think you necessarily need to be like a marquee player to be a good mentor. Like, look at Ryan Lomberg. That guy's probably the best mentor on the Calgary Flames right now.
True.
Yeah.
Next one, Ryan Donato.
Okay, so wait. So just real quick, Ehlers.
He's gonna stay. He wanted to leave last year, but he's gonna stay.
Do you think he signs for more? 6 mil?
Actually, I was gonna say no, but yeah, they can literally overpay him because they have the space.
He's 29.
He is someone I would like to see Calgary get.
I've got into this habit of
We have the space for it.
whenever the Flames are in the playoffs.
That's a long time ago.
It is.
That was like 2 years ago.
I kind of broadened my
Pittsburgh, to be honest.
I kind of broadened my horizons as to what players are like really annoying to play against. In the Dallas series, that was John Klingberg.
I hate that guy.
See, but in the Jets series, it was Nick Ehlers.
Yeah.
I hated playing against him so much.
Oh, I don't like John Klingberg.
Like
I like the Ehlers.
Aside from just like Nick Ehlers' face, like his face is just so slappable.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Where?
I agree.
Like the same thing with like Corey Perry. He has slappable face.
Corey
Corey
Perry.
Perry's a punchable face.
Yeah,
Corey
like
Perry is a kickable and knee and elbow.
but Nick Ehlers,
elbow.
Nick Ehlers, he has that face, but like he also is just he's such a killer. I would love to be able to cheer for him, but I think he's staying in Winnipeg. I want Calgary to be in on him so bad.
And that stat sheet is a stat sheet that Calgary needs.
Yes,
Is something like
yeah,
that.
you need scorers.
Obviously.
Ryan Donato, leave.
Who?
Ryan Donato leave.
He's going. Yeah, he's been rumored to go to Boston. Ironically,
That is a really Boston-esque
and ironically,
person.
he was drafted by Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I think he leaves.
I don't know anything about Chicago.
Patrick Kane.
I don't know
He
anything
stays.
about
Does he
Detroit.
just hang them up?
No,
When does he? He's 36.
soon, very soon. I give it 3 years, but I think he stays.
You give it 3. You think he's gonna retire when he's 40?
Well, he's 36, so he actually 39.
But like he's probably gonna turn 37.
Then I give him 2 years, and if not, he goes back to Chicago. Reunion. Get Tays back in Chicago. Get Kane back, and we run it back. They don't do anything as well as they used to do, but
They got Bedard. Just pass it to Bedard. You'll be fine.
yeah. But Bedard, who does Bedard have?
Nobody.
No, actually, there's one person, Spencer Knight.
And then
Goalie.
I'll end it here because the rest of them are fairly straightforward.
Whoa.
Brock Nelson, I think, stays in Colorado because
No.
they just traded for him.
He leaves. He's a rental.
Where do you think he goes?
I don't know, but he does not.
I would love a Brock Nelson to the Flames.
You do realize. I hate that
Love that
man
meme.
so much.
He's also such a killer.
I don't like him.
I know, but like
He looked like he was 50. Did you just see him in the Four Nations? He looked like he was on
He looked like he
drugs.
was like 70.
Go through a few of them. Like, go through a few more. Like, Brad Marchand, rental, he's leaving.
You think he's leaving? Where do you think he's going to? He's not going back to Boston. He's not going back to Boston.
Brock Nelson.
He's not going back to
But
Boston.
he's not. He's already literally said he's not signing in Florida.
He's not going back to Boston though.
Flame.
Sam Bennett. I think
No,
he's staying.
He stays.
Yeah, he's staying in Florida for sure.
Claude Giroux.
Can hang him up.
Claude Giroux resigns 1 or 2 years max.
And then that brings us to
And
Mr.
then we get
Brock
to Brock
Besser,
I believe.
who we know
is going to be a Penguin.
who is gone.
Penguin.
But like the last, I was talking to him before the show about it. Not last season, but 3 seasons in a row. Every trade deadline was Besser to Pittsburgh. Every trade deadline.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
Also Gibson to
Not yet.
insert team.
Oh yeah, true.
But
Gibson was literally rumored to go anywhere and then never does.
and then
was,
never moved.
Jamie Benn,
Flame.
Where do you think Brock Besser goes?
Flame.
Pittsburgh. I genuinely think he's a young winger and isn't he born in Pittsburgh? That I could be making up. Isn't he Canadian? Oh no, he's American.
He's American.
He was born in Minnesota. Never mind.
Oh my God! Imagine if he goes
One of those
to
in
the
a while.
Wild.
I tried to, but nobody does anymore.
That'd be crazy if he went to the Wild.
It'd be wild.
We were saying the Wild have cap space, right? They're gonna get it back. Flame?
No, as biased as I
He's
am,
28.
I do genuinely think Penguin.
I want to say Carolina or Vegas.
Jamie Benn? I think that one's pretty obvious.
Stays.
Yeah. Scroll down a little bit
Career star.
until we start seeing people we don't know. Kyle Palmieri, bum.
You guys still know us?
Stay. Kyle Palmieri, bum.
You guys really?
Don't like him. He's gonna stay. P.S. Suter. We're just gonna rapid fire.
I want P.S. Suter.
He stays.
Yeah, Peter stays. Dadonov stays.
Stays. Riley went back and stays.
Taylor Hall.
I think he might stay.
I forgot he was a Kane.
Jack Roslovic, he'll stay.
Flame.
Matt Grzelcyk,
Flame.
as a Penguins fan.
Yeah, I was about to say
I want Neil Pionk.
I was about to say you kind of uniquely.
Ironically, he's having his career, his statistical best in Pittsburgh. I wouldn't be against it. He makes $1 million.
I picked him up in fantasy and he was doing pretty solid.
He's an assist merchant.
Yeah.
He's not bad. In my opinion, if Pittsburgh signs him for 3 years, get him to 34, not bad.
I want Neil Pionk to be a Flame so I can get a Pionk jersey.
I think he stays.
And instead of a number, I'm going to put a picture of a pylon on it.
All right, from P.S. Suter to Marcus Johansson, Suter stays, Donov stays, Riley stays, Hall stays, Roslovic stays, Grzelcyk 50-50, but I wouldn't be surprised if he stays. I hope he stays.
And Pionk
Pionk
will stay,
stays,
though.
Duran stays, Kuzmenko definitely stays, Van Riemsdyk leaves, and Johansson leaves.
Holy Kuzmenko, though.
That's why
like-
he got lucky. He's
Yeah.
gonna stay.
He just blew it up.
Yeah.
Like, went all the way to Philly, then all the way back to L.A. after getting kicked by the Flames, and just is like, okay, now I know how to play hockey.
Now the RFAs.
Okay, number one is stupid for the amount of money he's gonna get.
Evan Bouchard stays.
Unfortunately, I mean yes, fortunately. That's a good
JJ
thing.
Paterka, I would love.
I want him. His name is John Jason Paterka.
Yep, John Jason Paterka. JJ Paterka.
Where was he born? He's not American or Canadian.
I think he's German.
That's a very German name. Is John Jason. He was rumored. Rangers were rumored to wanting him. Pittsburgh was rumored to wanting him.
Who doesn't want him? Who
He
couldn't
is
use
German,
him?
you're right.
I offer sheets, which is gonna be a very big thing this offseason. Flames fans, you want him. Penguins fans,
Okay,
you want him.
let's go with offer sheet or no.
Okay.
So Bouchard's no offer sheet.
No.
Yes. Paterka, yes.
Yeah.
Velarde.
Yes.
You think he gets offer sheet?
He has 60 points this year, dog, and he's played like 50 games.
Dog.
Marco
Dog.
Rossi.
Stays.
But does he get offer sheeted?
23 That man's been 23 for like 10 years.
Does he get off sheeted though?
No.
No? You think Rod's kind of resign him?
Yeah. Geeky's gonna get re-signed. He's having a career year.
Yeah, more like.
You know an insane stat? The
What?
point drop off from Pasternak to Geeky is stupid.
Flame.
Geeky is second on the Bruins in points, and like is like back by like 20.
Matthew Nyes.
Flame.
Offer sheeted, but will be re-signed. Could you imagine McTavish getting offer sheeted?
Can you
That
imagine
would
if
be
the
fun.
Flames get Geeky and McTavish? That'd be kind of
You
fun.
live in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
I
I was the only one who thought we were still going to make playoffs. Matt Coronado, we're keeping him.
He's not. He's not.
Ryan McLeod resigns.
Stays.
I don't think he gets off-sheeted.
Yeah.
Dmitry Voronkov, same thing.
I think he leaves. Low key.
You think he leaves?
I don't know where he goes.
Kako.
He stays.
I want him.
He's doing so good in Seattle.
I want him.
Matt Coronado
Stays.
stays. I don't think he gets off-sheeted at all.
Holmstrom may leave. He's not.
Who?
Simon Holmstrom.
You know, for a guy who hates the Islanders, I know too much about the Islanders.
Well, because I mean, I know a fair amount about the Oilers, and I hate them too.
Oh, never mind. This guy's kind of good.
Yeah.
23. Okay, he'll stay. But offer sheet would be very beneficial. 74 games played this season. He's 23 years old, 20 goals, 25 assists. On the Islanders, by the way.
Will Cooley, no offer sheet stays.
No offer sheet leaves. Rangers are a dumpster
No
fire.
offer sheet leaves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
did
one
you
wants
not-
to be a Ranger right now.
So
the Rangers.
wait, so then,
I've been praying on their
so then you're
downfall.
saying
I feel
that
bad for Landon.
wait, so you're saying that the Rangers would trade away his rights then?
Yeah, because the Rangers are stupid. I feel like that, low key.
Okay, okay. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of bias here.
Willie Kulisle to Tampa for that rookie.
Flame.
Tampa for that rookie.
For that rookie that they're not going to sign. I don't know.
Why am I not thinking of a name?
It was recent news. Tampa Bay rookie. That's not the right sport. Oh, I said wide receiver. Whoopsies. Where is he?
The Flames could use a wide receiver
They could.
They could use
and a quarterback.
I was about to say.
lineman.
Zane Parrick.
I can't find him, but there was literally. It's been in the news that he's not signing with. He's not signing someone. Okay, give me a sec because there was an article I did find earlier before the show talking about him.
Also,
Kako, I think, resigns in Seattle. Luke Hughes resigns in New
Isaac
Jersey.
Howard. That's him. He's getting.
Who's that?
He's the rookie that the Tampa Bay Lightning won't sign, and I think this is my prediction because the Rangers might want him.
Mm-hmm.
Cooley for
Cooley.
Cooley, whatever. Cooley for Howard, I think could be a thing. Capocacco stays. Luke Hughes definitely stays.
And Alex Ferrier, I think, stays.
Tyson Forrester, low key,
I wouldn't.
kind of good.
I wouldn't say that the. I wouldn't say there's.
Phil's head
like,
is
I wouldn't say there's no chance that the Kings don't get an offer sheet on LaFerriere.
No, Luke Hughes will probably get some, but they're going to sign him. Tyson Forrester will not get any. He'll re-sign.
You know how many times I confused Alex Laferriere with Alex Lafreniere?
Oh,
Every
time.
stinking time.
Fantasy, I had both of them at one point because I literally got so fed up with trying to figure out who's who. I was like, you know what?
I'll just take both of them.
Every time I'd be watching a game that Lafreniere was playing, I was like, when did he get traded?
Zetterlund leaves.
Morgan Frost?
He's not on next on the list. Go in order.
Well, it's the next name. I guess I know Bowen Byron.
Noah Dobson leaves. He gets traded.
Dude, he gets traded.
He was literally, the Islanders were shopping him in the deadline. Byram
Flame.
leaves.
Byram leaves. Where do you think he's going?
Flame.
That's actually not, for once I'll agree with him. Flame's actually not that bad.
What I might do is I might take that picture.
Put me on it?
No, not put you on it, but every time we see it, I'll just like flashing on.
Frost, I think, will definitely stay.
Yeah.
Go to
Just-
25. 'cause
Just
we
position
went
the point to down to the I'm just gonna copy and paste his list on the video,
Go-
so I'll just position the meme just
Go
to
down to
put for
25.
each name.
Noah Cates stays. Maxim Simplikov,
Maxim
What
Siplikov
a
stays.
name.
he will stay. He's actually pretty good.
Mason
Lohrei
Lohrei
will
stays.
stay.
Luke Evangelista
he
stays.
will. Is there any Penguin players like there? I'm just curious.
The Ruffa?
Yeah. Just keep scrolling on that one and see if you can find a Penguins player.
No,
Just keep scrolling.
no. Boom, Tomasino.
Keep him, please. I love him so much. Don't let him go. No. Stay. I like Tomasino. That's the guy we fleeced Nashville for.
Right.
Yeah, like future considerations or a fourth or something.
Well, yeah, literally when Dubas was talking about the trade deadline, he goes, the only people that are untouchable are Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Pickering, because he was on the team at the time, and Tomasino. Or he dubbed them the rookies, but we didn't have any of our rookies up, and Tomasino was the only one.
Right.
Players that won't return, who have decided that they should call it a career. Three-time Stanley Cup winner Alec Martinez.
I did not know he won the cup 3 times.
Kings, Vegas.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's the wrong clip. Dang it. Never mind. Sorry.
okay,
That was good. Thanks for that.
that was
my
good.
volume was on, too.
That was good. That was good to hold on
Just
to that.
wait. Just wait. Here it is. This is the clip.
Right, he scored the winner.
You know, it's
He
really
did.
interesting watching that play because he's a defenseman. And this man
Why is he that far up?
And this man is casually leading them into the
For some reason,
offensive
during
zone.
that,
What a play.
I don't remember much about
Boom.
like 20. That was 2014, right?
Yeah.
Twas.
I don't remember much about 2014. For some reason, I remember I was cheering for the Kings. For some reason, I don't know why.
I can tell you why I was cheering for the Kings. I don't like the Rangers.
Fair enough.
I don't like any New York team apparently.
I was going for the Rangers just because I wanted Lundqvist to get one.
That's fair.
Sad that he doesn't.
That's valid.
I subconsciously didn't want Landon Brown to be happy, so I'm sorry, Landon Brown.
I
And
lost the
then
bet to Landon Brown. I had to wear a Rangers jersey in class.
also talking about one of the best players to have never won a cup. Logan Couture decided to hang it up as well.
That's sad.
It's injury related, unfortunately.
His during the season he was fine, but when the playoffs started, he was an entirely different animal. I think he averaged like more than 1.5 points per game in the playoffs or something.
The furthest he made it would have been the 2016 finals.
Yeah, so he did make the
cow.
finals.
This man played with the Sharks. Wow.
Sorry,
I mean,
116
to be fair,
games.
the Sharks were good at one
That's
point.
wild. And then just a 22-game stint in Geneva.
Lockout.
Lockout. Ovechkin played in the K at that time too.
Yeah. So Logan Couture playing 116 games. I was a little bit off. 116 games in the playoffs and 101 points.
Does he have his playoff stats? I want to see how many points he got in the time where they went to the Cup.
Right here.
10, 20, 30.
He had 30 points in the playoffs.
30 points, 24 games.
Wow.
I mean, I'm happy with the outcome, but damn.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
And then look at the next few years down again.
Well, do you
20
remember,
points in 20
Do you remember
games.
when Vegas were up 4-1 in the third period and then choked to San Jose?
the big
No.
5-minute major.
The 5-minute. Yeah. I don't think you know, do you?
No.
Okay. Well, he was.
I don't have a photographic memory.
He was
like you
literally
guys do.
he sparked the. I think he had 1 or 2 goals. Because Carlson, no. That was the last time. Wait. Vegas versus San Jose Sharks comeback playoff. That was Game 7, no?
Yeah.
This is so it was in 2019. La 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 la. Okay, years. So
Nice.
Solid movie.
Marchessault.
Underrated
Okay,
movie.
you're just not gonna give me. I want to know who scored, and I don't need an article. Just want to know who scored.
I think Big Hero 6 came.
Barkley-
didn't come
oh,
out the same
Barkley-
year as Frozen.
I was about to say, why don't you just go to the hockey reference page for it?
Well, because I can't find it. Yeah, Logan Couture scored twice. Couture tied the game. He was the reason the game tied.
Banger.
Dude, it was actually one of the greatest comebacks in history.
Similar to what the Hitmen are going to do later on. Anyway, should we move on to some Stanley Cup Playoff Predictions?
Oh, I found it. Sorry. It was Couture goal to make it 3-1, then Couture goal to make it 3-3, and then Kevin LeBanc scored to make it 4-3 San Jose, and then Jonathan Marchessault tied it with a minute left, and then Barkley Goudreau went goal.
I'm going to sneeze.
Real quick before we do you want to do NHL playoffs first? Or do you want to do WHL playoffs first?
Do NHL playoffs.
Okay, we'll do NHL playoffs first. Didn't want to make a quick aside and wish Alec Martinez and Logan Couture the best going forward.
Legends.
Legends.
Guys, our childhood's falling apart.
Couture, I think, is a
Your childhood.
gold
Man, these
medal.
players
Still going on, dude.
True. I mean, like, players-wise, there's not ain't many left from my childhood.
I can't wait to watch you openly weep when Sidney Crosby
I'm just
retires.
saying, this isn't really a hot take, and I think everyone's going to agree with me. The 2010s were one of the greatest years for hockey ever.
For sure.
And I may be biased, but I think it was incredible.
Did he win a gold medal, Logan Couture?
Yeah.
Just the one?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
good.
Oh, wait.
2014? Keep going. Keep scrolling.
2014.
Holy teams.
World
That's a
Cup.
lot. World Cup.
Oh, what? I could have sworn he played.
I could have sworn he was there too.
Oh, it was Mario Ferrero. No, it was Mark Edward Vlasic. That's who. Oh, wait, go up. That's there. No,
there's
no,
no
no,
picks there.
no.
Weird.
Not an Olympian.
All-Star game.
World
Yeah,
Cup
oh,
gold
he got
medal.
a gold medal. In the World Cup, yeah.
I could have sworn he was.
Oh, he was the NHL Rookie of the Month in December. That's cool.
Anyway. All the
I want to know if
best.
you like search up like Ovechkin or like
How
Kane.
big that shit is. Yeah.
All the best to both Martinez and Couture as we get into our playoff predictions.
just before.
we go.
Just one quick before. Landeskog's back.
He
You
is.
said that last week?
Yep.
No, but now he's on the
Now he's
Avalanche
back with the
now.
Avs rather than the
How
Eagles.
many points did he score on the AHL? Like 7 million?
I think he only played one game.
Yeah,
No, 2.
Still.
2 games? Okay.
Oh, so the average of puck per
One
game.
one for the first one, and then he wanted to see how his body recovered, and then he scored the next game. They're like, okay.
So we talked before the show about if we should just do playoff predictions now, and we all kind of agreed that
We insulted Alex and said yes.
whoever makes the playoffs between the Canadians and the Jackets, we don't really see them going over the caps.
Nah.
So do you want to start in the East? Or do you want to start in the West?
Let's start in the West.
Let's start in the West.
On the west side.
West side, first round, Winnipeg versus St. Louis.
Are we doing,
What are we thinking here?
Are we doing like games as well? Like how many games?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. I gotta find the bracket.
I'm gonna write this down actually.
Winnipeg versus St. Louis.
Indy?
Winnipeg, and I think it's gonna be Winnipeg in 6.
I agree.
Winnipeg in 5.
Winnipeg in 5.
Yeah, guess who the team was that stopped the St. Louis Blues winning streak?
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I could see it being 5 or 6. I don't think they sweep. St. Louis gets one at home. St. Louis are also just still pretty hot. Like, obviously, Winnipeg, yeah, you're right. They cracked the streak, but then
you also have,
St.
like,
Louis was right back on it and ready
Assuming
to keep going.
Assuming Hellebuck plays how he normally should be good.
Hellebuck.
And Winnipeg.
Remember when we had an
in
episode
5?
called Hella Sucked?
Yeah.
Guess what he did?
Because he
For, like,
he
one
did-
game, and
yeah,
now he's
for
still-
a couple weeks.
And now he's back to being the best goalie in the world.
He was the best goalie, and then was the worst goalie in the playoffs last year, and then now is the best goalie again.
Yeah. We'll see what happens again. But, yeah, Winnipeg in 5 or 6 is the coast-to-coast consensus. C2CC. Yeah.
Sticking in the Central,
We should make a graphic for that.
Dallas, Colorado.
This one is going to be
I've changed
a
my
barn
mind.
burn.
I've changed my mind. Colorado in 6.
I'm
I can't.
I think-
my heart cannot go against. It's like, yeah, Dallas has got depth, but it's like, yeah, but Colorado's McCarr and McKinnon.
I think this series has Stanley Cup champion in it.
I think this series should be the Stanley Cup final.
Well, that's impossible because they're both on the West.
I know.
I thought this was gonna because I do that bracket. These teams were quite literally going to be. I picked 5 from this team and 5 from that team, and hope they get to the Western Conference Finals.
This team is crazy. I think this matchup is crazy. I think Dallas has the slight edge in goaltending, but Colorado has a slight edge in offensive creation.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh,
but then you look at
man.
it from an analytical point. It's like, yeah, Dallas has this, but it's like, but McCarr and McKinnon.
McCarr and McKinnon.
But McCarr McKinnon.
But also then Matt Duchene.
But you
Valerie
also, but
Matrushkin.
you also get
Troy
you also get
Lehtonen.
Landeskog back.
Landeskog's back.
And they don't have Heiskanen.
They don't have Ratinen, but they have Nietzsche's.
And Rantanen's on
I
Dallas.
forgot. Why did I
Yeah,
forget? they
Rattinen's
had
on
Nietzsche?
Dallas now.
And he's
I say Colorado.
Colorado
I'm going to say
in 6.
Colorado in 7.
Colorado in 7.
Colorado in 6.
Coast-to-coast consensus. We all
He's
said
making
Colorado.
our life so much
He's
better.
making my life so hard.
Alrighty, quite possibly the easiest one.
Vegas gold. What?
Vegas Wild.
Vegas Wild.
Vegas in 5. I don't know if you see.
Do the Shannon Sharp thing.
I was about to.
I mean, Vegas is playing pretty good, but they just lost to the Flames. But I guess so did Minnesota.
Mike, take a hike, ride a bike. Vegas in 5.
Vegas in 5.
I made it up on the spot. I'm very proud of that.
I did one of those in the Instagram group
I
chat
love
for
that.
the Devils and Carolina series. I did Hughes Brothers, Blues Brothers,
Snooze Brothers.
Snooze Brothers, Canes in 5.
I'm
But
going to give Minnesota a little bit more credit than you guys are. I'm going to say Vegas in 6.
Oh, did I get one? They win one extra.
They get
game.
one extra game. There's a big difference between losing in 5 versus losing in 6. Losing in 6, you took a fight to him.
Yeah, I guess losing in
I
6
like
at
that.
one point you were tied.
Phil says Vegas in 6,
Vegas in 5.
and Marek and I say
That
Vegas
Shannon Sharp
in
thing too
5.
is the greatest possible.
Hey man, it's
I watched
so
an interview.
awesome.
I watched an interview where he was doing an interview with a woman reporter, and he just does this, and he doesn't have to say anything. She goes, "Yes, Sharp, I know what you mean," and it's just like, man, he's got it.
And moving on to a very refreshing, never-before-seen playoff matchup.
The fourth time!
In a row.
The fourth time they're doing this!
In a row. The LA Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. I think this one's a tough one because of how broken Edmonton is right now.
Kings in 7.
I think if Edmonton gets
key pieces back, I'm going to say Edmonton in 6. If not, I'm going to say LA in 7.
Kings in
You
7
gotta
because
pick one. I'm not gonna put two options in the
because
video.
Kings in 7 because their home ice advantage and the fact that they're like gods at home is stupid.
I'm going to say, yeah.
And yes,
I don't know enough about the injuries to say that Edmonton's going to come back, so I'm going to say Kings in 7 as well.
Here's one of them, Draisaitl.
Is he going to come back?
Probably.
It feels stupid to bet against McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah, it's the same argument we just had about Colorado, right? They've
But
got that star power.
I kind of want to bet against them this time.
What do you mean this time? You bet against them the entire playoffs last year.
Yeah, I did too.
You hated them.
But like, I'm like from a prediction
You almost
standpoint.
got us beat up at a Canadian brew house because you were the only one cheering when Florida won.
Yeah.
I know my buddy.
I wasn't wearing my Panthers jersey though.
We said
I wasn't wearing my
we
jersey.
said we were
I would
gonna
not
go
have
to
sat with you.
I was talking to my buddies. They're like, if Flames make playoffs, we're going to go to the red lot. And one of my buddies is an Oilers fan. He goes, "Oh, we're in my Oilers game." We're like, "No. You will get jumped. If you wear Oilers gear to a red lot, you will get hurt."
The fire pit.
No, I think we're a little bit more. I just remember when I was working.
Yeah, but
there,
at the end, no.
At the end, it's an entirely different animal.
Everyone's got a little bit of substance in them.
Uh,
I don't know why I did that.
prediction.
Kings
He said
7.
Kings in 7.
Kings in 7.
Kings in 7.
Kings in
Okay,
7.
Are we doing Leafs, Senators, or Canes and Devils?
Why do we do Kings in 7?
I'll go King. Yeah, it's a full consensus because we all say Kings in 7.
Coast to coast consensus. I like it.
Can we add a sound effect in there too, please?
Yeah, like a comic book, like da-na-na-na-na.
Or just like, or just boom.
Boom!
So in the
big
East, let's start with the Boo, the Battle of Ontario.
I love that this is a thing.
The Boo.
Ooh.
The Boo. The Boo.
I want to go first.
Toronto, Ottawa.
Ottawa in 6.
Ottawa in 6.
Yeah.
You think the Leafs are just going to blow it?
Imagine if they lose.
They're just going to choke it?
Well, one, that's funny because they always do.
It's really funny.
But it's their first time, and there's one player on the Senators who doesn't throw their body around, and what he does in other is just score, and that's Stützle. I can name about one player on the Leafs who has a lot of grit. Max Domi. That's about it. Your captain...
Reeves?
He's in the HL. Your captain on the Senators is going to be
Brady Tkachuk.
is quite literally going to be a wrecking ball.
He is going to be a menace. Brady Tkachuk playing playoff hockey is something this world is not prepared for.
You saw how impactful he was in the Four Nations in his biggest game in his career. He's back for the first time.
He's going to injure Matthews in like the first game. And then it's going to be over.
You know what? I just realized too. Matthews scored, I think, off Brady Tkachuk.
And then we got to make sure Matthews doesn't get like a little
tummy ache.
They're
making another one. There's another documentary coming out. I'm really excited.
Is it going to be about his tummy ache?
No, it's going to be new. Oh, it's going to be new teams. New players. And I feel like there's a Tampa player that was announced not too long ago.
Ottawa in 7. They're going to call up Yakimchuk. Yakimchuk's going to be a Stanley Cup champion.
Yakim champ.
I like that.
What was that laugh? It's like when someone honks the horn really like politely. Oh, let me just get by you.
Oh my god.
Okay. You see Ottawa.
Ottawa in 7.
He's Ottawa in 7. Okay. Ottawa in 7.
I said Ottawa in 6.
Make sure all of Austin Matthews' chicken wings are fully cooked.
I agree. Ottawa in 6.
Whoa. We're like all on the same page here.
This is weird.
Why don't we get exciting about this?
Why don't we just like kiss or something?
Ooh. Hey yo. Coast to coast after hours.
Then it's the BOF, the Battle of Florida.
Significantly less exciting.
Tampa in 6.
Florida in 5.
Florida
in 6.
Florida in 7.
I will give you this. Tkachuk is not guaranteed to play.
Oh no! Why you guys got to make it so hard on me?
Tampa replaced Stamkos with someone better in Gensel.
It's true.
And you also have, I don't know.
Sorry, so you said Tampa in
6.
6.
I hope Tampa
Again,
wins.
it depends on if Tkachuk plays for me. I think that's a big impact for me.
Then Florida's been kind of then like for a while.
I'm gonna say Florida in 7. Just so we're not agreeing the entire time.
I do think Tampa's been playing really good.
Remember when
Tampa and 6.
I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if you were there, but were you at the where we did our fantasy draft?
Yes.
You were? Remember when I was like freaking? I'm like, oh my god, I need this player, and it was Brendan Hagel.
Yeah.
I look smart.
To the Metro.
The one that is not decided yet. The Washington Capitals, but
Do you want to just make
Against-
like, a hypothetical for both?
I'm putting them in the same thing.
I think the Washington Capitals could play both the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Montreal Canadiens at the same time and probably still win.
If they play the Blue Jackets, I have Capitals in 5. If they play the Canadiens, I have Capitals in 4.
I don't think they're going to
Wow. Okay. No, yeah, that makes sense.
I think either way it's 5.
Dude, the Canadians are out muscled in playoff experience and goals.
Yeah, but so are the Jackets.
And not as much as you think.
So what's your difference maker between Montreal and Columbus?
Zach Werenski.
defense. Okay, so
Dead best
He's
friend
quite,
energy.
He is Zach Werenski also is quite literally the third or second best defenseman in the NHL right now.
Who do you think is going to make it? Is it going to be Montreal or is it going to be Columbus?
Montreal.
Oh.
And then everyone's gonna be so like.
I think it's gonna be Montreal. I think it's gonna be Montreal.
I think it's going to be Columbus. I think they're going to pull it off. I think Montreal's going to get killed tonight.
So for you, if it was Montreal, it was in 4. If it was Columbus, it was in 5.
Yeah.
I'm saying either way it's 5.
And Columbus has
5.
actually got some like. Jet Graves, kind of a dog. He's got 2 shutouts in 3 games.
And then Washington in 5, regardless for Phil. The last Eastern Conference matchup.
Carolina versus New Jersey. Two
Now,
teams I know.
let me pull up exactly what I
nothing
said.
about.
I don't like. I know you like planes. I like to ride trains, and I don't like feeling pain. Canes in 5.
Hey, you, damn it!
Tried.
Dude, it's not. You try. It's not as easy as you think. Coming up.
I'm not trying. That's why I'm applauding you for trying.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not going to try. 'Cause I don't think I'm going to do it.
Hughes Brothers, Blues Brothers,
Nah, you
Blues
can't. No,
Brothers.
no, it doesn't count.
Canes in 5.
No, you have to. You can't just. You gotta make it up on the spot.
Honestly, I thought about. I was staring at my phone thinking, okay, Hughes Brothers, Blues Brothers. How do I finish this?
Oh geez. Oh geez. Bees love the trees.
Marky Mark and the Flunky
Canes in 5.
Bunch. Canes in 6.
Canes in 6. Okay,
I
so
thought that was pretty good.
New
There's
Jersey
Marky Mark,
Devils.
like Markstrom on the Devils.
MTL.
What was that?
Cam 1, Cam some, Cam done. Canes in 5. That didn't rhyme.
Okay, so
Just the same word.
Does it have to rhyme with 5?
No, it just has to
no,
rhyme.
it's
But
like
it always
the
ends
3
in-
lines have to rhyme. It's like Hughes Brothers, Blues Brothers, Lose
It
Brothers.
always has to be something in 5.
Canes in 5. It was like UFC, KFC. I can't see.
You know, we use a table. Horses use a stable.
Here it is. Here it comes.
It's coming.
Cain and Abel.
And
Canada.
Canada's very maple. Canes in 5.
Okay, so
Third
we're
one
both
lost
saying
it
Canes
for
in
me.
It's
5.
KFC, UFC, I can't see. Lakers 5.
So Marek and Alex say
I
Canes
love
in
that
5.
trend.
And Phil,
I said Canes in 6.
Canes in 6. Carolina in 6. Okay, so then we go to the Western second round.
We're doing the whole thing. Let's go.
Doing the full run.
Yeah, I can do maybe more jokes.
Oh boy.
So
I gotta think.
so after
The
that,
viewership
it
from
would
this point on
be
just
Winnipeg
Buddy,
against
your
Colorado
entire
for all of us.
contribution to this was flame.
Flame.
Winnipeg against Colorado, second round.
Oh boy.
Colorado and
I just hope both teams have fun.
Jets will put up a fight. They might take a flight.
Oh my god.
But in the end, dude, this one's a banger. I actually have a banger.
I'm listening.
Oh my god.
Well, I have a guy laughing, so the mic's not gonna pick it up.
I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Jets are gonna take a flight. They're gonna try to put up a fight, but they're gonna be burnt out like a light. Colorado in 5.
Colorado in 5.
That was actually pretty good. You try.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's so good. They're actually so much fun to say. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just so much fun.
Phil. I'm still thinking.
I was trying to rhyme words with Phil, but I can't. Oh yeah, I can. I
Oh no.
Oh my god.
just thinking, man. Let me think. You do your predictions.
Jets in 6.
Jets in 6. Okay, so you're the only one pulling for the Jets here.
Yep.
You get paid in bills.
Oh my god.
I love my friend Phil, and it's such a thrill. Colorado in 5.
Jets in 6.
Jets
That's
in
not the
6.
rhyme. It didn't rhyme.
So then the other one would be, for all of us, Vegas against LA.
Vegas in 5.
Vegas, LA.
Gamble, ramble, scramble. Vegas in 5.
God damn. That was good.
Gamble, ramble, scramble?
You gotta like.
I just was thinking Vegas.
You gotta add
gamble.
context to it.
No. You just say words.
Ramble, scramble.
Gamble, ramble, scramble.
Oh my, oh, so funny. Okay, so he said Vegas in 5. Gamble, ramble, scramble.
Gamble, ramble, scramble. Vegas in 5.
Vegas in 5.
It's fate. Don't be late. There might be a date. Vegas in 5.
Vegas in 5.
Mine was objectively better.
I had context. You just said 3 words.
Mine was more entertaining.
You just said
And
words.
it was like,
You just went.
it was related to Vegas.
Vegas.
Gamble. You should know that.
What about the
Yeah,
ramble
I-
and the scramble?
I don't know. They're gonna.
Ramble, scramble.
Don't ramble, because we're gonna make them scramble. 'cause
Oh,
we
it's
are
so
gonna end
funny.
up going on a gamble. Vegas in 5.
East 2. I said Vegas in 6.
Vegas in 5.
East 2, so that would be Ottawa against Florida.
Or
Whoa. I didn't say Florida.
Ottawa versus Tampa.
I didn't say
Sorry, yeah, I didn't say Tampa either, but like the state of Florida. Whichever you got come out of the buff.
Tampa in 6.
So Phil, you have Florida and Ottawa. Tampa and
Tampa and
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
I have Florida. My bad. Tampa and Ottawa.
Tampa in 5.
TBL in 5.
Unless they call
Don't be a
up.
punk, because I got junk. I'm gonna put it in your trunk.
Stop.
Tampa in 5.
Well, that was gross.
That was
Still
bad.
better than his.
And then
It depends if Ottawa calls up Yakimchuk or not.
He's not. They're not calling him up.
If they call up Yakimchuk,
Phil, I'll bet you
Ottawa's
$1
winning
million
the cup.
they don't call him up.
I know. Okay,
You know
I can
what?
dream.
I'm gonna go Ottawa. I'm gonna go.
What?
I'm gonna go Ottawa over Florida.
You think Ottawa's gonna beat Tampa or Florida?
Florida.
Although the battle of Kachucks would be crazy.
That'd
You'll
be-
get
I
Keith
would
in
love
there.
that.
Battle of Chucks, Panthers win by mile.
Then we'll get Keith in there.
I feel bad for Keith in that situation. He's just like, dang it.
I
then
did,
it's-
man. The videos of Brady just getting super drunk and cheering on his brother. I love that.
Washington, Carolina. Do you think of a rhyme?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not?
We've done this every time. Caps in 6.
Washington at 6.
He's not even thinking about how the games are gonna go. He's just thinking about.
Yeah, he's thinking of
Yes.
rhymes. He already had the decision made up in his mind like seconds after I asked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you, Washington at 6. But they've got to fall off at some point here.
895. Oh, we felt so alive, but the Caps will not survive. Carolina 5. Around 5 with 5 or whatever.
Are you just making all of them in 5 so you can make rhymes?
You do realize that this is what it is always 5.
It is always 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
I guess I could also be like, in 5. I have 5 tattooed on my body twice too, which is kind of cool.
Carolina 5 says Marek.
Oh dear.
Carolina in 6 says Alex. And then we get
Wait,
to.
you guys both playing Carolina?
Hike to a mountain,
Yeah.
drink from a fountain. I don't have a third rhyme.
So now it's.
Oh my God.
Are we all in agreement? It's Winnipeg, Vegas?
Winnipeg,
No.
Vegas.
No, one of you guys said Colorado. No.
Me. This is very broken.
Winnipeg, Vegas. Winnipeg in 7.
Why did?
Oh, I said Colorado too. Might be.
Winnipeg in 7. Team Canada.
So
Colorado.
Phil says Winnipeg in 7.
What? This is very confused. Wait, I'm confused.
You have Colorado against Vegas.
Oh, Colorado in 6. He's
He stopped.
You can't do 6. It's got to be 5.
Yeah,
Colorado
genuinely,
in 6.
that is the rule. Is it just has to be a game of 5? I only do it for series. I think will end in 5 games.
Yeah, you predicted like every
All
single
of
Because I
them
think
are
those
five.
games.
series to be 5.
I think the Capitals are gonna stink after. I think the Capitals are gonna be like the
Stinky.
Rangers, like from last year. They're gonna go way too hot and then just go.
Vegas
There.
in 7. I love Colorado, but I think Vegas in 7. Then we have the Eastern Finals. For Phil, it's Tampa and Washington. For Marek, it's Carolina and Tampa. For me, it's Carolina and Ottawa.
Oh, man. I kind of like the Ottawa-Carolina matchup, though.
Phil, Tampa and Washington.
I don't know. Come back to me.
Marek, Tampa and Colorado. Or Carolina, sorry.
Go have a lay.
Oh, my God.
Go chill on the bay. Because Tampa came to play. Tampa and 5.
Tampa and 5.
Dude, I'm bangers after bangers. These guys, you know what? These two
Oh my God.
are just haters. You know what? You're just haters.
I
You're not
entertained
gonna-
it for like 5 minutes.
Learn to have fun, Phil. Learn to have fun.
I think that's enough of this funny business in Ottawa, Carolina in 5.
That didn't rhyme.
I didn't want it to rhyme.
You're lame. Learn to have fun. Old. You guys are just old and senile
Hey, yo.
and cranky. I realize I'm in the room with only old people, so I might get jumped after the show. Help.
In Coast to Coast news, our center...
We're looking for a new
fired.
co-host.
Must be a must fit the Pittsburgh Penguins fandom.
Nope, that is not a requirement.
Phil.
Tampa in 6.
I just thought of a much better one to rhyme with your name. Gosh darn it.
And then
Guess we need
be
to
a
save it
thrill.
for next year.
It's gonna be a thrill.
not.
Make it a chill, because his name is Phil. Some team in 5.
And then we have
Him in 5. That can't happen.
Can't happen right now.
and then we have our Stanley Cup Finals. Phil, Winnipeg and Tampa. Marek, Colorado and Tampa. And me, Vegas and Carolina.
I don't have a rhyme for you, so you're welcome, because it's not 5.
Marek,
Colorado in 6.
Colorado and 6.
Colorado wins the Stanley Cup.
Winnipeg, Tampa.
Winnipeg Jets in 7, Alex.
Winnipeg Jets in
For
7.
the first time ever.
And Alex is going to say
My dad would
that
never let me live that down.
Am I really saying Winnipeg's going to win the Cup?
You just did.
Oh, my God.
Carolina
Bless you.
in 6.
So confusing going from like everyone's bracket. Like you chose this, I chose this.
I bet you, like, when we actually do these brackets, for,
It's gonna
like,
look- it's gonna look
mine's
different?
gonna look completely different.
Yeah.
But whatever. It is what it is.
That's okay. This one's going to be immortalized in time.
As Ted Lasso says, be a goldfish. And I am always one. Not on purpose, though.
Believe.
Be curious, not judgmental.
There's a lot of other words I can say from Ted Lasso, but no, I can't.
I love
And
Ted
from
Lasso.
one league's playoffs, we jump to another one's
When does the thing open
Him
up?
in time.
Oh, tomorrow.
Thursday, yeah.
Tuesday.
Him in time.
Tuesday.
Hitman
Today is
time.
Wednesday. Calgary Hitman. Back in action tonight in Lethbridge after I didn't watch the game, but I assume it was great.
Fake fan. Boo.
I was at work, okay? How many games have you watched this season, Marek?
60.
It's not hard to pull up. It's not
Genuinely a good 60 to 70 games with Pittsburgh.
it's not hard to pull up Victory Plus.
Hitman games.
Oh, 0.
It's not hard to pull
Yeah,
up.
that's what I was.
Victory Plus makes it accessible. Why aren't you watching it at work?
You should watch it tonight
Victory Plus.
because I'm busy at work.
Victory Plus.
I got better.
Victory
things.
Plus. You should watch it tonight.
I have pride.
Even though your favorite guy isn't in there, Tanner
I-
Howe out on some sort of
How
injury.
is this
We're not
happening?
100% sure what it is yet. Apparently, it happened in the second game. Daniel Hauser, unfortunately, back to day-to-day as well. So we're going to be riding the hot goaltender that we found in Anders Miller from last series. Hopefully, he can get it together again here. I think that's kind of maybe what happened with that first game against Lethbridge.
What?
Is you kind of just sauced Hauser. I think Hauser started that one. You sauced Hauser in, and he just wasn't quite ready for it. According to apparently those first 2 games were atrocious from the Calgary Hitmen. I know Ben Kindle was not very happy after game 2. He was looking to.
Moore's going to score on the floor.
God, man, stop it!
And close the door. Hit in 5.
They don't play on a floor.
I scored on the floor. Like he's like.
Ice.
Well, we have a party pooper next to me.
Again, I entertained it for a little bit.
I mean, 2-1 in game 2 isn't horrible.
No, but yeah, they
No,
should.
but
They
yeah.
should have already.
Axel
I mean, I
Hunting
didn't
is
think.
a flame.
Hertig, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
you've said that.
The more you know.
This is not news.
This guy doesn't pay attention.
I have ADHD.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm actually surprised you accepted that excuse.
Well, so do I. But I almost said game 7. Game at 7 tonight at 4. Game 4. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It's gonna be a fun one.
Game 4, he doesn't know what he's saying anymore.
Don't be a bore. Him in 5.
We're getting to 5.
No, not that one.
No.
Alex is dumb. He's a chum, and he's a bum. Alex is not winning in 5.
That was pretty low effort. Anyway,
Scum.
Alex not winning in 5.
Alex is not winning. We're putting a lot of thought into these ones
Alex
now.
in 5 in IQ.
Wow.
Anyway, the key is going to be holding off Braden Yager. But looking at that 5-3 win, we had some pretty interesting scores. I've been saying it the whole playoff so far. David Adzinski's been like a force to be reckoned with, and then it was nice that he found the back of the goal.
Dude, they almost got
there.
They almost got to the we lost, and we lost again. We only got
We almost got to the we lost again. I think, you know what, this team is so resilient and so strong. Even if we lose tonight, we can bring it back. I don't think it's over by any means. Lethbridge is a great hockey team, and these boys know that. But so are the Calgary Hitmen. I think Hitmen in 6. No, Hitmen in 7. But in other news,
Are you gonna go see any of the games? Like, are you gonna go on Friday?
no, I have a show, unfortunately, with RecCon. Depending on what Game 7 would be, would probably be able to pull that off.
RecCon, Pokemon. I'm using the John. Him in 5. Greatest.
Oh my god.
Greatest. Shannon Sharp is a natural. I've been saying this now. Shannon Sharp, national treasure.
So the Calgary Hitmen.
In 5.
Are we going to draft lottery now?
Yeah, so that was the other news, is we had the last kind of rankings here released from the draft. They still have Matthew Schaefer first, Michael Misa in second. I think that's going to kind of alternate depending on who wins
Michael
the draft
Misa
lottery.
should drop to 8th. Just saying.
Michael Misa, I think, is going to go first.
It's good. I know. I'm saying because Pittsburgh picks 8th.
Yeah, I'm kind of honestly still surprised Matthew Schaefer is still up there.
It does depend on
first.
the team. It does,
Yeah.
Because like a team who's like, who's picking first? As of right now, it'd be San Jose. Right?
San Jose.
Either San Jose or Chicago.
Because Schaefer is the defenseman.
Yep.
I can see them picking Schaefer over Misa because they don't have as many big defensemen.
That's what I was saying before
But
the show.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, I know.
They
But
have
like,
their strong.
it does
they
depend
have
on the
their
team.
strong young
Like
forwards
Misa
already.
would go to.
Sorry, you coast to coast. What was that?
Consensus.
Consensus. Coast to coast consensus.
Like
but
Misa would go to like. No, I think Schaefer would still go to Nashville. Schaefer.
The defenseman?
I can see Schaefer also going to Chicago, but they just drafted a guy second overall last year for Chicago. And Bedard needs help, so I can see Misa actually going to Chicago. That makes sense.
Bedard Misa line would be crazy.
And then nothing else.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh my
That's
God,
your
it's
team.
Bedard and Misa. Who else? Spencer Knight.
on this
What a goal.
list, 19th in North American skaters, Henry Brustovich.
Who?
I think
Actually, sounds so familiar for some reason.
Brother?
I think it's brother of the Brew Crew in on the Wranglers.
Yeah, Hunter Brustowicz.
Yeah,
Who just got called up today?
which would be pretty solid to get both to get an actual Brew Crew.
That would be fun.
Well, the Flames don't have their first pick, do they?
Yeah, they do.
What do you mean? We have two.
No, but that's I
we
mean
don't
it's
have
a top
our
10
first
protected.
pick, but we have two other people's first
Yeah, we
pick.
have two other people's first picks.
Which
though.
we're about to get into
that gets
because
confusing.
Mr. Benjamin Kindle from the Calgary Hitmen is sitting around 21st. According to this list, I think it's going to improve. But exciting thing, and I know I've said this pretty much every week, Ben Kindle's favorite team, Montreal Canadiens, picking 16th, 17th. Calgary Flames picking 18th and 22nd. I could definitely see Ben Kindle going up to 16th, 17th, 18th
Guys, what if we
area.
pull it up? Do the sim lottery, see what happens. Do it like 5 times. It's fun. Just go.
How many times we got to do it to get the Flames in there?
Just do NHL home,
NHL home.
and then do the sim
Sim
draft.
lottery?
Just do it 5 times and see what happens. Just hit it once and then wait and then we'll do it again.
1.
So in this
That's great
one,
watching.
whoa.
Chicago goes to
Philadelphia.
first. Philadelphia's
moves
on
up 4.
second.
Okay, next one. This is just fun to do. I do
2.
this all the time.
Calgary Flames.
I should have taken a screenshot of that.
Oh.
The Rangers.
You know how funny? You know how mad I would be because that
I would lose it.
that would be the Penguins pick. In a
Where's
dream,
Calgary, yo?
They're still 16th, but their pick goes to Montreal.
do it again. We dropped to 9.
Number 3.
Isn't this fun though? Nothing really.
Chicago,
Oh,
Seattle.
moves up 3.
Rangers move up.
San
Rangers
Jose.
go to 11th.
That would suck.
Nothing
if
happened
San
with
Jose
Calgary.
goes from
Not
1 to
move.
2. 2 more. Oh, another one.
4.
Nashville.
Nashville, Seattle, San Jose, Chicago, Boston.
We have hey Pittsburgh. Let's get some London.
And the last one is actually pretty fun.
You missed.
I did.
Whoa!
Detroit.
Do it again.
No, we did 10.
Do one more.
Do one more.
Do one more.
Do the last one.
Just for like
Man,
blank and giggles.
Detroit getting 83 points, getting the second overall pick is nuts.
And they'd still do nothing with it.
And the last one we're going to do is to say it's the exact same.
No. Do it again. I want change.
No.
I want Calgary to get the first pick.
Buffalo.
Oh, I like that
Buffalo,
one.
Pittsburgh.
I like that one.
That
That's
would
not
be
a
great
movement.
for you because then Pittsburgh would probably get Misa.
Misa, Musa, Mickey Mouse.
Oh no, Buffalo would probably take Misa actually.
I wouldn't. Replace Carlson with Schaefer.
But anyway, back to Ben Kindle.
I did it on my computer.
Oh my god.
No, you keep talking. I'm going to see how many times I can do it before the Flames get high.
Okay, and then you're gonna recite what I said back to me. Ben Kindle, we're looking, sitting around 21st. Columbus, which would be Columbus right now. Obviously, like I said, I think he could probably go all the way up to maybe 14th or 15th.
I had Flames.
Which would be
fourth.
Woo! Which would be Utah, Vancouver. I would love for him to be a Calgary Flame. But I could also see him going to Columbus. Columbus likes their short guys, their short kings. Obviously, we saw great success with Gaudreau, but so does Calgary. Calgary loves short kings too.
Yep.
So does Montreal. Ben would probably be the happiest kid in the world if he got drafted by Montreal.
Big fan of this one.
Pittsburgh going first.
Could you imagine
That's
something
my
like a team actually moves up like 10 or 7 slots to get first overall?
Alex, do me a favor. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of that page for me. Because
Do.
this is my surprise.
Brandon Gorzeski.
Glory to Gorzo. Brandon Gorzinski is ranked 50th, which means he would be a second-round draft pick.
He's the first hitman I thought of in last week's trivia.
He is. Right now, according, again, to Tankathon, that says New Jersey. We could see that changing as well. Gorzinski's had a great season as well. He's been pretty important in this playoff run. But yeah, pretty exciting to have 2 hitmen there. Obviously, one in the first round, one in the second round.
I don't think Calgary's going to get much luck moving up. I've pressed it every time, and Calgary's not gone above 5.
Yeah.
Well, because they physically can't.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
They're 16th. They can only jump up 11 spots.
Gorzinski,
So, you wanna
notably
pull up
with
the
the go-ahead goal.
Do you want to pull up the mock draft
Why?
on Tankathon?
Why?
Because then you can get an idea of what teams could be picking, and we can, and stuff.
That's what I have open.
The mock draft. There you go. There you go. So, why are you going so far down?
I'm just seeing.
Oh, Ben Kindle would be a
Be
flyer.
a flyer.
So you'd be happy.
I would.
That'd be disgusting.
It would.
I would be sad.
No, not disgusting.
I see. Okay, so
The
this
Brew
mock,
Crew also going to Philly.
This mock,
I would lose my mind. This is so out of date, though.
So, well,
this would be this isn't updated on the last ranking.
This is what.
Yeah.
No way. I don't think Ben goes that far
I'm
down.
a little
He's going to go up or be at 21st.
Go back up to number. This is Pittsburgh, but
Hey,
I'm
Will
scared of
Horkoff.
that guy.
What?
There's a player. Go up to number 8.
Number 8. Sorry.
That guy is
Roger
McQueen.
He's scary. I
Rutger
don't want him.
McGordon. Roger
You don't
McQueen.
You don't want him.
Why don't you want Roger?
He had back surgery for a very bad back injury, and I don't know if you do want him because
Where's Gorzo?
I was about to say.
Victor Eklund, brother of William Eklund. Fun fact.
Rigged.
Is that a goalie? Hell yeah, take him, please.
Gorzinski's not on here.
No, he's not.
Wait, we draft twice
And that's
back
like
to back.
that's over 96.
What the heck?
So yeah, this
Dumb.
hasn't been updated yet.
This isn't new.
Yeah,
we just dropped 2.
Prospect rankings updated 14 days ago.
What round is that?
So this has been
Oh, yeah.
a
This
colossal
came-
waste of time.
This came out yesterday. So anyway, happy days. Game 4, all on the line. Go Hitman, go.
Game 4, please score and don't lose it, and don't let the door close you on the way out. Him in 5.
So with that, we jump to women's hockey. The women's worlds are going on right now.
Women in the world?
The quarterfinals, or sorry, the quarterfinals are set to play tomorrow.
Dude, it's almost 2:30.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get through this.
Yeah, we're trying to rip.
That's why I'm trying to
Stop
rush.
making jokes.
I don't know why you're trying to get me to click on the mock draft.
Because it's interesting, man.
Do the draft lottery 7 times.
I didn't see you complaining.
So the women's worlds are going on currently.
Japan beat Germany.
The quarterfinals are tomorrow. It's 4 a.m. Eastern, Sweden and Finland.
I will not be watching.
7:30 a.m. Eastern, Germany and U.S. Switzerland and Czechia at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then Japan and Canada at 2:30 Eastern.
Oh, that's actually not that bad of a time. That's noon here.
Yeah, I'll probably
Be
watch
at
that. Yep.
I wonder if they'll put it up.
And then
What's the over/under for Canada?
this will all be wrapped up, but before our next show, so we'll probably talk about it during our next show.
Canada's gonna win.
The semifinals are on Saturday and the finals are on Sunday.
Canada in 1.
Just wanted to say best of luck to the Canadian women.
I put good money that the final's going to be Canada and America.
Is Emma even on the team?
Is
Malte?
Ooh.
Or else I just look like an idiot holding up this card.
Does Phil look like an idiot?
Zachary.
Usually I do.
Michael Misa.
Going to the
Actually-
nope. She got a penalty in the States game, and Malte did. Woo! So yeah, she's there.
Good. Go Canada.
NHLPA player poll.
Oh, we're doing that too.
We are.
Okay, let's blast through this though.
All right, so the NHLPA did a player poll. Out of 660 NHL players, they're asked 12 hockey-related questions.
I know I have a time thing, but a cool little fact: the biggest team to ever jump a draft spot is 13 spots. Just wanted to put that out there.
Dang.
Cool. It was the Rangers in 2020.
Let's rip through these polls, and we're all going to add someone that we think should be up there that isn't up there. We get to be a part of the player poll.
I feel like you're going to say who should be up here. Who is the best overall goalie?
And you can only say one player once.
I'm not going to be able to keep track of that. Marek, go. Best overall goalie.
The top 5 were Vasilevsky,
And I can't
Shesterkin.
pick a goalie in here already.
Correct.
The top 5 are Vasilevsky, Shesterkin, Hellebuck, Bobrovsky, and Saros in that order.
Stolars.
Stolas has been really good. I am going to go with a fellow named Lucas Dostal.
That's not bad.
Ooh, I was going to say...
This makes it so much harder. You can't name a player that's even in the top 5.
That's pretty neat, actually. It makes you think.
I was going to say Ottinger.
That's actually pretty good.
You all said I was going to say Dustin Wolf, who also should be up there. But I said Ottinger.
Best overall forward. And
Dustin
you can't say McDavid, McKinnon, Kucherov, Crosby, or Kaprizov.
Dustin Wolf.
Oh, it's a forward. Yeah, forward numbers.
Dustin Wolf.
Mm.
Best overall forward.
I'll go Dry. I'll go Draisaitl.
Yeah, but see, we can't pick that because he picked it. No, because we
can agree.
Yeah, you can agree. You just can't pick any of the top 5.
I want to be creative.
Go for it.
Go nuts.
Pasternak.
Pasta.
Okay.
I was gonna say Mitch Marner.
Fair.
He's been playing good.
I just want this to be known that Crosby is.
I was thinking Matthews, but I'm probably gonna go with Dry first.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Best overall defenseman.
Can I go first?
Sure.
Werenski.
You hang on. You can't say Makar, Hughes, Hedman, Yossi, or Fox.
Werenski.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because I had no other. Actually, I can name maybe one more.
I don't know defenseman.
Best overall defenseman outside of Makar, Hughes, Hedman, Yossi, and Fox.
To be honest, Fox should not be in here. That guy's.
No. From what I've been hearing, he's had a bit of a down season.
When was this post?
He's also on the Rangers.
This is from 3 years ago. That's not useful.
This is from 3 years ago.
So I said Werenski.
I'm gonna go with my heart. Let's go Mackenzie Weegar. Just because I love him.
Really?
That's biased. Not at all.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna go with Josh Morrissey.
That's a banger. I put him above Adam Fox in a heartbeat. What you mean, Josh Norrisy? Favorite defenseman?
Lane Hudson.
Wow.
He's young.
You could also put
He's
Heisen in there.
a little baby, but he's gonna be really good.
I don't want to change this one.
So now there's 6 people that we can't say for who is the most complete player. We can't say Crosby, Barkov, McKinnon, McDavid, Matthews, Kopitar for the most complete player.
Dustin Wolf.
Player.
Does he not play hockey?
He's a goalie, not a player.
I thought that was a skater.
Your mom. Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Most
Watch it.
complete player.
Most complete.
I was gonna say Matthews. Then he's already there. Josh.
Who's good at everything?
You can't say Crosby, Barkov, McKinnon, McDavid, Matthews, or Kopitar.
This is tough. I thought this was
going
gonna
to
be more
say
like
Matthew Tkachuk.
Ooh, that's a good pull.
Who's good at everything?
I'm gonna say Cale Makar.
He's got the foot speed. He's got the handling. Yep. I said
Most complete.
I said Tkachuk because like he's has scoring ability, but he also has like bleep you ability.
If we're going really creative, Brendan Hagel.
Underratedly, really well-rounded
He
player.
can fight.
Who is the best playmaker? And you can't say Nikita Kucherov, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Artemi Panarin, or Sidney Crosby.
Panarin? Okay, I like that one.
Can I put two guys that are on a line together?
I'll go McKinnon.
Oh, hey.
Were you also going to say McKinnon?
No, I didn't think of him quick enough.
Can I put two guys that are on a line together that make plays together?
Say it and we'll say yes or no.
Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini.
That's fair. That's valid.
Yeah,
God
okay.
damn, are they good together?
I'll give it to you.
Best
they're young.
playmaker as a. I don't like saying this, but I can say Leighton Hudson. Unfortunately, stupid head fakes.
If you need to win a face-off, who would you pick?
Ooh, I
You
like this
can't
one.
say Crosby, O'Reilly, Kopitar, Stahl, or
I have him.
Barkov.
Heischer. He's like this. When I looked the last time, which was like maybe a month ago, the only person ahead of him in face-off wins was Crosby. So I'm gonna say Heischer.
I'll go McKinnon again.
Well, someone's not creative.
I was gonna say
Lanny McKinnon.
there's someone. Oh man, who's on the Flames? There's one guy on the Flames that's been killing it in the face. I want to say it's Kadri.
Backlund's really good in defensive situations.
I'm gonna say Kadri.
Okay.
I like this game. Oh,
smacked
why does this get so much harder?
Who is the smartest overall player? And
Dude.
you can't say Crosby, Kucherov, McDavid, Barkov, or Fox. I'm gonna go back to the well.
I'm just saying, like, Crosby's still recognized as a very good player. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go back to the well with McKinnon.
I'm gonna make you say something else.
All right. Then let's switch to.
Dustin Wolf.
You're gonna want someone who has a really good eye.
Who has best? Like, this is literally another way to word this question: is best hockey IQ.
Yeah, best
Which
hockey
again
IQ.
is, I would agree, is Crosby without being biased. Best overall. Who's the smartest player? Like, what they do is super smart. I was gonna say Matthews, but then I think of the Four Nations and how that wasn't.
I'm gonna say Connor Zary.
Okay.
The best Connor.
I think he's pretty smart.
No,
I think
Connor
he makes
Brown's
some
the best
great-
Connor.
He makes some great
The
plays.
smartest overall player.
This is a tough one.
You know, low key, Ovechkin.
Kopitar.
I like your answer more, but I'm gonna say Ovechkin. You
Who's
gotta be smart to score from the same spot a million times.
Now this one's gonna
This
be
one's
tough.
tough
This one's gonna be
because-
really, really tough. Who's the best overall skater? And you can't say Connor
Oh, I have an
McDavid,
answer.
Cale Makar, Nathan McKinnon. That sucks for me. Quinn Hughes and Jesper Bratt.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nathan.
He's
McKinnon,
injured this
for
season.
Sure.
He's injured this season, but Matthew Barzal.
Who's fast?
Who's really fleet of foot? Mitch
Everyone
Marner.
on this board. That's actually not bad.
I'll go Mitch Marner.
Warner.
Mitch Marner.
Marner?
Mitch Marner.
This one was kind of obvious though. You know how crazy it is? That's like, who's the best overall skater? Two of them are on the same team.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
Do you have your player? Marner. Who did I say? Barzal. Get that man out of the New York Islanders because he is a gifted goal scorer who doesn't have any goal scoring abilities. I feel like it can't pick anyone else.
I'm gonna pick 2022 Olympic speed skating world champ. Nils Vanderpool.
All right, eliminated. Fine. Muted.
I don't know. These guys are the fastest guys.
This one I can't pick anyone
This
except
one,
Pasternak.
yeah, I mean, best fashion sense.
Pasternak.
It's outrageous that Matthews is up here with the picture that they
That's
used.
a terrible picture to pick. For
That's a terrible
Matthews.
picture to pick.
I'm gonna say either Dustin Wolf or Blake Coleman because
was gonna say
man,
Blake-
those hats
I
are
was-
so
I was
good.
gonna
I was
say-
not able to say. Look at that hat. It's in his hat.
Ooh, actually,
That is a nice hat.
Victor Hedman.
Valid. I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna say Kevin Hayes for Pittsburgh. He puts on some good outfits.
Kevin Hayes with the Hazer laser.
or Carlson. Because those are the only ones I see half the time, but they're pretty
Fair
good.
enough.
Who would be a good broadcaster once they retire? And you can't say Kevin Hayes, Ryan Strome, Brad Marchand, Patrick Maroon, Eric Comrie, shout out Casey,
I'm gonna make a rule.
Eric Johnson, or Marcus Foligno.
I'm making a rule. It can't be like a Crosby, McDavid.
I would never.
I
Crosby
love how
would be a good
split.
I would never.
But I'm just saying.
I love how split these. It means
Yeah.
everyone got like
No
a
one's over
little bit of
5%.
vote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with the Flames.
Good broadcaster, whether it's
Blake Coleman.
Matthew Tkachuk.
Yes.
Either Tkachuk.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go with Matthew.
They wouldn't put Brady on TV.
No, but I think Matthew, because
Matthew would be
He has a
great.
bit of that Bieksa.
Yeah.
Of, like, he's probably so funny.
Yeah.
He's probably so funny.
Matthew Tkachuk's
Matthew
a good
Tkachuk.
pull.
Matthew Tkachuk's my pick.
I'm gonna stick with Blake Coleman. I think he would be great.
best broadcaster NHL. I'm gonna say Mark Stone. don't know why. Mark's
Okay. Yeah.
He's been around the league.
We can probably skip this one because all the rules are already
I
there.
I like this
I
one.
agree with jailbreak.
I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
don't.
so instead of which
I agree
one,
with the second
instead of
one.
which one would you not do? Which one would you agree with? So which PWHL rulebook change would you like to see in the NHL?
I like the top two
The
ones.
jailbreak goal won. 3-2-1 point system was second. The first place finisher chooses the playoff point was third. The player is eligible at any time to take any number of shots as often as a shooting team chooses in the shootout.
So it's just like the
Wait, so
ice.
you can just run it back?
Yep.
Have you never seen the USA TJ Oshie? He had what 3? He went on like for TJ Oshie got like put on. There's literally like he would shoot, other team would shoot, and Oshie would just go back and shoot, and he scored every time.
And then no restricted goalie area was fifth.
No, the
Still
Brador
not
rule
fully
was
a-
made for a reason.
Still don't fully understand that rule. I'm going jailbreak. I like the jailbreak rule.
I like 3.3210 because then teams like, ironically, Pittsburgh and Calgary and the Islanders. Can, like,
I do like 3-2-1-0.
I like choosing your opponent.
of course,
This
you
is a
do.
cool one.
You just want to be different.
I'm
just bugging you.
Look, I think it's amazing because like you could let's take an NHL example here.
like we can't even vote on this one.
Winnipeg could suck for some reason. For whatever reason, St. Louis just has their number all season. But Winnipeg goes, you know what? I feel better with us going Minnesota. I think that's a pretty neat rule.
Then if you're Toronto, who do you pick?
You
Nobody.
I think you
Can
take.
I get a bye?
Probably take Ottawa.
I think you take Montreal in this case.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Montreal.
obviously, yeah.
CBJ.
I mean, Montreal beat them in 2020. Yeah, Montreal beat them in 2020.
That
so
is 5 years ago.
I know, but I mean, they don't have Cape Press anymore, so I think that's a pretty heavy blow.
I feel like we
but
can't do the next one.
Yeah, the next one doesn't really make sense
But
for us.
the 3-2-1-0 point system is a very, very, very close second. And then, the last one we can't do. Which NHL arena has the best ice? Just listen to top 5 with Montreal, the Bell Center winning first with 44%. The Rogers Place with second. Winnipeg in third. Minnesota in fourth. And then Las Vegas in fifth.
I'm going to go back to my earlier best skater answer, and I'm going to say the Olympic Oval.
Oh, okay. Can you click
That
on-
actually
can you
is the
just
best
click
ice
on
in the world.
The players. This is really weird. I just clicked on the players and it brought up Drew Doughty, Matt Duchene, Devin Tays, and Matthew Joseph.
Yeah, those are like the player reps, aren't they?
Oh.
On the
I was gonna say these are the 4
NHLPA.
most random players to pull up when I hit the players. They just hit the players.
It says be a player. I could join the NHL.
No, it isn't. That's pretty cool. What if
can
I
be
click
in
on
the
Matthew
NHL.
Joseph? It
Yeah,
just pulls up
imagine
his-
those just all player refs.
Yeah.
more St. Louis Blues players. No, get them off my screen.
But we've been on here way too long. It is time for us to go
Get food.
Yeah, go get food, go have a little bit of chat. We will see you guys next week. We don't know
At one
when.
point.
But whether it's either here, I mean, it could also possibly be on Zoom, depending how quickly we kind of get access to this wing again. But that is it. Please stay tuned for the Kyle Walker interview that will be playing immediately after this.
Check it out.
He swears a lot.
Love
So heads
Donuts.
up. Heads up.
Is Kyle Walker owns donuts?
No, hockey cards.
But that is it. Alex
long as we-
Verco, Marek Robinson.
We are the dudes having a good mood.
Oh, no.
We're about to get some food. Coast to coast.
Okay,
five.
that one wasn't awful.
Phil Tremblay.
I didn't mind that one, but remember, success.
Coast to coast and 5.
That is it. Enjoy the Enjoy the Kyle Walker interview. I loved it. I think it was so much.
Terry loved it too.
I love having him on. Terry loved it too. We gotta get more interviews on here. But enjoy the Kyle Walker interview. We'll see you guys in a week. And welcoming back on the podcast just before we actually film this week's episode, I'm back with Cougars captain Kyle Walker. Thank you so much for coming back on, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thoroughly appreciated. So first question, bit of a lob. Any exciting plans over the summer?
Not really. Basically, just sticking around Calgary for majority of the time. I'm going to. I'm gonna go to Cuba in July.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm going with my sister and my girlfriend and her boyfriend, so that'll be a good little trip.
That's awesome.
And then plan on going to Zach Top on July 3rd for the Stampede. Gotta dip my toes in a little bit to the Stampede. You know, I have to. Other than that, that's basically it.
Solid. Yeah. So let's take a look back at the back half of the season, pretty much since I started talking to you. We'll get into specific players a little bit later. I do, however, want to start with a bit of a low moment. The men's team only lost twice in the back half, pretty much since the since post-Christmas break. One of them being the Coachella Classic, losing 4-0. You did get the revenge the next day in the rematch, winning 5-0 and winning every regular season game following that. Following the Coachella Classic, do you remember what was said in the locker room after? Like, was it very quiet, or how was the atmosphere in there after?
Great question. That was actually like a huge turning moment for our program, or for our team. Like our coaches especially, like they challenged our leadership group a lot within that game or after that game, which was a great thing to do. Obviously we were pissed off in the moment and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, like if you're not getting challenged, like you're not really bettering yourself either.
Yeah.
But after that Crowchild game, I mean, yeah, like I think there was like the 12-minute mark, and like you just saw all the Mount Royal fans flood out of the building.
Yeah.
And just like as a team, like that was so deflating and just like so disappointing that, you know, we didn't deliver for not only our team, but like the entire university. So we definitely took that as a chip on our shoulders and like took it personally, and we felt very embarrassed, to be completely honest. And then going into that next day, obviously like it was like we always just say, like going about business, like it's a business day. And so once we showed up to Father David Bauer, it was just like everybody was in the exact same mindset of like, F these guys, like we're gonna go out and take it to them, and like we know that we're the better squad overall. And I mean, that game, if you rewatched it or if you watched it during that time, it was, yeah. I mean, I can't remember what the shots were exactly, but I'm pretty sure like we doubled their shots. Like we had 42 shots, something like that, and they had 20, 21, something around there. But like just like looking over that entire game, like we just ran that whole thing like physically in the O zone. We ran the neutral zone game. We worked ourselves in the D zone. We had guys blocking shots everywhere, and that's a character thing for our group as well. Is like you gotta take care of your D zone first in order to play offense, right? Like your best offense is your best defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving forward like that, we did team meetings and stuff like that every Monday and stuff like that throughout the year, obviously, but definitely honed in the second half just in regards to like preparation for playoffs and whatnot. But yeah, after that game, we were just so embarrassed, and we had something to prove. And I mean, it showed for the remainder of the regular season, and obviously going into our first round playoffs with the Bears, beating them for the first time in program history, and even just making it to the finals for the first time in program history, right?
Yeah.
In U Sports anyways, that is, not for the ACAC, but
yeah.
Yeah, it was a great moment. I think that it needed to happen, unfortunately, at the biggest stage of the year, right?
Yeah.
In front of
most eyes on you.
Yeah, whatever it was, 13,000 fans, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was the best thing that could have happened to our group, because it taught us that, you know, if we don't show up to play, it doesn't matter who you're playing, that we're going to get beat.
Yeah.
And so that just set the tempo for the remainder of the season. It's like we need to prepare every game like it's going to be our last game. And that was something that we always talked about every Monday or Tuesday. Yeah.
Awesome. So you kind of led into the next few questions here. As I said, the Cougars went undefeated in the remaining 5 games regular season and ran to the playoffs with a full head of steam, and you face U of A first. You win game 1 and you lose game 2. You assist on the tying goal in the second period in game 3. Justin Lee scores game winner, and Tarswell gets the empty netter. Do you have anything to say about pretty much how that series went, or any kind of thoughts about especially game 3? Because honestly, I was there for it, public address announcer, and like the energy just from the fans alone was enough to power a small city. Yeah. So I'm curious what you kind of felt, what you and the boys kind of felt during that game 3.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, like all 3 nights we sold out the FCA, which was great. And then like before I get into game 3, I'll go into game 2 where we lost 6-0.
Yeah.
I mean, that's playoff hockey though, right?
Yeah.
There's like, especially in a 3-game series, U of A is a super talented group, prideful group. They've won 17 out of the last 20 Canada West championships or something like that.
Roughly.
So obviously they're a historic program.
Yeah.
And I think that they have like in the 30s national titles, like outrageous amount. But like Yeah, I mean, we win game 1, was it 3-2, I believe?
3-2, 4-2, somewhere. Like,
Something
it was
like
fairly
that.
close. Like, it was,
Yeah.
I think it was like 4-3 or something.
Yeah,
really
something
tight.
around there.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, obviously, and then you got game 2. Their back is against the wall. Season's on the line. I think, like, we didn't play our best hockey. We didn't play terrible. But they were just way more desperate than we were.
Yeah.
And again, like, our first time being in that situation and stuff like that. And U of A has been there plenty of times. So again, it was just like another little learning thing for us. And then going into game 3, it was just like, well, it's like Cougs don't lose 2 in a row. So that's a rule for the boys.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, we were just like, just play confident, play hockey, enjoy the atmosphere with everybody. And like I said before, like, we had whatever it was, like, only, I mean, the FCA only carries 500 people because of fire limit or whatever. But like all the student athletes and stuff like that came out and supported us, like, it was awesome support. And I mean, just from like being on the bench and stuff like that, like, everybody was engaged, everybody was talking on the bench. It was all positive chatter. It was like positive reinforcement, stuff like that too, and like positive criticism. Like, at times it's like that's just as important as being positive and stuff like that. It's like, hey, like, if I'm making this play, you need to be here, or whatever it is, right?
Calling each other up, not calling each other out.
Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, I mean, that was just picture perfect Cougar hockey in game 3. It was just like, we were physical, we were hounding the puck on our forecheck. Our forwards were animals on the back check too. Like, we always say, like, track back to the red line at least to try and get that first F1. And like, we had, again, like, our penalty kill was awesome. We had guys blocking shots. We had, it was just an all-around game. And Farkey obviously stood tall in that game, especially in overtime in game 1. Where he made, I'm pretty sure it was Shergill, he tossed the puck cross ice to McLennan at the bottom of the circles, right?
Yeah.
And Farkey slid over there and made that save, and I just like, that McLennan was my guy. And I just like, I remember Farkey made that save, and I was like, holy shit, buddy, like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, I'll get you back.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, buy me dinner after or something.
Yeah, exactly. Not dinner, maybe a couple beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that game 3 was awesome. Fans were awesome. It was just a great moment. And like, especially like after Tarzi scored that 4th goal to secure it with whatever it was, 9 seconds left, right? I just remember, like, I was on the ice. We were in the D zone for like the previous minute or something like that.
They were hemmed in a bit.
Yeah, we were hemmed in. I mean, they had their goalie pulled. Like, they're obviously, like I said, like, they're
desperate.
They're a nasty team. Like, they were good. And like, yeah, of course they want to score. I just thought that in game 3 we were more desperate to take that next step to go to the finals. And I remember when Zandy chipped it out, or Mosey was on the wall, chipped it to Zans. Zans just kind of shoveled it to the middle of the ice, and Tarzi's probably one of the fastest players in the league. And he just got to the red and buried that puck into the net, like, at the bottom of the circles. He was like, leaving no doubt, hey? And I just remember, like, I was at the far blue line. I just hunched over my shoulder, or hunched over my knees, and I was just like, finally. I was like, we did it. Like, we fucking did it.
Like, you're able to breathe.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
A little bit deeper.
Right? And it was just like, I looked up, there was like 9.6 seconds left on the clock, and I was like, fucking right. Like, we did it. I was like, I'm going back to the bench. I need to sit down here. Yeah, no, that was an amazing feeling. And yeah, running back next year.
Yeah. So keeping up with the season recap, this is kind of where things would start to go downhill. Starting with the Canada West finally. Reverse of the Golden Bears series. You lose game 1, then you win game 2. And then in game 2, Tarswell catches the player up high with a hit late. What did you see, if anything, from that hit?
Well, funny enough, the linesman actually grabbed me, and he was like, yeah, Walks, you're gone. I was like, what do you mean I'm gone? And he was like, yeah, you're gone for that hit. And I was like, I didn't even hit anyone. I didn't even hit anybody.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time, I didn't hit anybody. Like, I actually didn't do anything wrong here. And I just remember, like, the video popped up, and he was like, oh, it's number 23. And I just, like, because I didn't see it because I was on the ice.
Yeah.
And then so I just, like, looked up at the video board, and I saw the hit. And I mean, obviously it's a little biased from my standpoint. I didn't think that deserved a 5-minute and a game.
Yeah.
Especially in the height of that situation where it's like both teams are playing for a championship. And yeah, I mean, obviously, and Tarzy's a massive player on our team.
He's a big guy.
Huge difference maker. Can score goals from literally anywhere on the ice, and he's like a guy who can go right to the blue paint, and he will stick there. And you can toss him up against the biggest defenseman in the league. He'll eat 40 cross checks in front of that net, and one puck will hit him in the chest, and he'll find somehow, some way to put that puck into the net. And obviously, we missed him a lot in Game 3. We had guys that obviously came into the lineup in Game 3 that stepped up in a big way.
Yeah. But those are big shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill, right? And I mean, even just like watching that game for 50 minutes of that hockey game, like up until U of S scored that first goal, where I thought Mikey played that, like Ladyman played that one-on-one perfectly. Would go like stick on puck, and somehow like the puck just rainbows over Farkey's shoulder and goes top corner, and it's just like, really? Like, that's the one that's gonna go in out of all of them, and especially like all weekend, how big of a dog Farkey was too, just like so solid. And that was just like a deflating moment. Like, you could just tell, like, from being on the bench, it was just like, fuck, like, really?
And like it's such a fight, and then that's the one that goes in.
Right. And then their second goal, like, it was an interference penalty. Like, Remy made the play up the wall, and then he got interfered with from Penner, and then they just had, like, Ethan Renier just snuck in behind our. I didn't even know if there was another defenseman there or what happened, but and then they scored that second goal, and then there was that 10-minute break in, like, with like 6 minutes left or 5 minutes left, something like that, because the U of S student section were banging on the glass, right? And so like one of the panels of the glass just like popped out.
Fixed.
So like we had 6 minutes or 5 minutes to kind of just like recoup ourselves, and again, like, we all like positive talk and stuff like that, and just kind of reaffirming like what we need to do and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the game went how it went, and you know, and again, like, it's a learning point for our group, like moving into next year. Like, after the game, like, we all sat down, and it was just like, I couldn't say anything but positive things to the boys. Like, in my opinion, in coach's opinion, and if you're any sort of a student of the game of hockey, like, you probably should have known that we should have won that game, right? Couple breakdowns which sucked, and ended up costing us the series and a championship. But again, like, that's a learning curve for not only like, well, it's a huge learning thing for us as a team. And like, we'll be back there again. We basically have the exact same team coming back next year, minus a couple, some big losses, I suppose, with Holmesy and Clay Hannes. And then Zaf is also gone.
Graduating,
because he graduated this year. What a teammate he is too. But yeah, we are going to be back there again next year, and we're going to know exactly what to do. If I could guess, it's probably going to be a rematch again.
Of you and Sask?
Yeah.
And then lastly, to finish off the season, you and the boys head out to Ottawa. Before we get to TNU game, how was Ottawa and Montreal?
Awesome.
Yeah,
it was super cool. Like, that's actually my first time. So when I was 15, I went out east for a midget triple 15 tournament, and it was funny. Like, we didn't know this as players, and neither did our coach when we registered for the tournament. But it was like a midget AA tournament. And so our first game, we went in there and we won 19-1, and then like, I'm pretty sure like we outscored our opponents like throughout the tournament. It was like something in the 80s to like 3. And like the gold medal game, it was like 12-2. And it was so like that was my only time being out east. Halifax is a great city. It's super cool. And then obviously in Ottawa, they put us up in the Marriott downtown, which is like right across the street from Parliament. And so we as a team, like, we walked around Parliament, stuff like that, and just hung out with each other, wandered the city. yeah, super cool. And then we went to Old Town Montreal on the Saturday, I believe. So it was like a 2.5 hour bus ride down there, and just hanging out on the bus with the guys, and just like at that point too, knowing that our season was done. So really just enjoying the moment and enjoying the company with all the guys. Right? Because like this is the last time that exact same group is going to be together. So yeah, just like wandering around there and popping into some pubs and going to some crepe shops and all that jazz with like all the friends, getting some poutine. And like, by the way, all poutine's the same poutine. Like there's no difference between Alberta poutine and between Montreal poutine. It's the exact same.
You might upset some Quebecers with that, but that's fine.
Yeah, whatever. It's cheese, curds, and gravy.
Yeah, and like fries. I mean,
yeah, it's all the same, man.
So for the for the Toronto Metropolitan game, I watched it in the morning, then I went to work, and it was still on when I got off work. Walk me through the game in your eyes, the history-making aspect of it being the longest game in men's youth sports history, I believe, is the title for that one, and then suffering the tough loss in, I think, the 5th overtime, almost 3 full games.
Yeah, it was crazy. First of all, shout out to Aaron Krill, our nutritionist, Carrie Downer, both of our assistant coaches, our skills coach Trev, and the scratches for that game, like Tim Gould, Ethan Rowland. I just remember the story, like after the game, Timmy, like I was just talking to him after the game, just like, what were you guys doing like during that whole time? Like it was like 6 hours and 47 minutes that we were playing. And Timmy's like, well, my phone died like after the first overtime. So you're just like, because obviously like they came to the rink beforehand with us at whatever time. Like what time did we play? 1 o'clock?
Would have been 11 Mountain, so 1 o'clock Eastern.
So 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we were there at like 10:30, something like that. So I feel bad for the scratches because like they were there from 10:30 till whatever time we got out of there, like 9:30, I think is when the bus departed. Like that's a long day at the rink, right? And so yeah, just talking to Timmy and Rolly after the game, I was like, what were you guys doing? And like Timmy was just like, well, he was like, Kayla, our AT, and Carrie was just like, well, we ran out of salt packets, mustard packets, and so Timmy and Rolly were ripping around the rink in Ottawa trying to like they're going to all the concession stands and just like stealing all the mustard packages and all the salt packets and like bringing them down to the boys and Carrie and Kayla and like giving them to us. And I think it was after the 2nd or 3rd overtime. I think it was the 3rd overtime. We actually had like all of our pregame meals brought down to us and like started eating then. And and then a couple of the scratches like went over to the Whole Foods market across the street and like we're grabbing Gatos and like as many electrolyte drinks as they could. And it was a full team thing, like whether you're in or whether you're out, it was like everybody was doing something during that time. And like on the bench too, during overtimes, like all the cramping that was happening, it was insane. And I think it was after the 4th overtime, I literally couldn't walk to the locker room. Because my legs were cramping so bad. And like they started cramping in the 2nd overtime and probably just like dehydration and well, obviously dehydration, and like I actually like crawled to the room just because it was so bad. And I have never been in that much like discomfort and pain before. Like I've broken bones, everything like that. I would rather have a broken bone than feel that,
do that again?
Cramping again. Like I had like stress marks on like my quads and stuff like that from like all the seizing and cramping that would come from my legs. And it was funny, like just after the game we were looking at Farkey because I was talking to him and I was like, dude, it's like you stood up for over 6.5 hours straight. Like at least for us, like as players, like after our 25-30 second shift, like we could get back to the bench, sit down
for a bit.
Farkey was on his feet that whole time.
He was doing 6 hours of up down time. Like, I could never.
Right. And so it was funny, like he was getting undressed and he was just sitting across the room from me and I was like, Farkey, what's wrong with your feet? And he was like, what, man? And I was like, what's wrong with your feet, dude? He was just like, it looks like you've been in a hot tub for 8 hours, like just so white and pruned.
Oh, wow.
Like the difference. So like one of the scratches like put up his hand compared to Farkey's foot. It looked like Farkey had been deceased for like 6 hours. It was gross. Like it was so gross. And like we had like Bert made like a little montage of like our time at Ottawa and stuff like that, and like all the headlines and stuff like that like were posted about us and whatnot, and Farkey actually took a picture of his foot compared to Rolly's hand, and like the difference on it was just revolting. So Bert actually put that picture on our montage.
Oh no!
It was like, please don't, like, why'd you do that? That just makes me want to throw up. But yeah, what a trip, and like as crappy as it was to lose that way, I mean, it was going to be a garbage goal to win that game, regardless. Like,
the game's going on that long, it's not going to be like a snipe bar down. It's going to be some kind of like,
it's going to be a garbage goal.
It's going to go off 5 players and just squeak its way in.
Well, and it sucks because, like, obviously we had our 2 disallowed goals throughout that game too. One thing for our group is that we need to learn how to play with a lead, because obviously we were up, what was it, 4-2?
I think it was 4-1 or 4-2.
4-1 maybe?
Yeah,
it was something like that.
Yeah.
And then, like we had 2 of our disallowed goals. Hondo in overtime had that wraparound goal. And, well, not a goal. Yeah, a goal. And then, the rule sucks. I understand it. But, like, clearly the puck was across the line.
Yeah.
But according to video review, like, you need to see the puck completely cross the goal line in order to count it as a goal. So, I mean, that sucked too, because that was in, I think, like the 4th overtime, I believe. And it was just like, finally. He was like, it's over. And it was funny just because, like, I mean, just sitting on the bench and stuff like that. And, like, some of the TMU guys are just like, this sucks. Like I don't want to play anymore. It's just like, and it's like, I'm looking down our bench. It's like the guys are like bouncing off the wall still. It's just like, let's go. Like, let's get this done. Let's get this done. And so it sucks in that sense that we didn't get it done, just because we know, like, mentally that we were still prepared to win, and like that's all that was going through our heads and stuff. And I mean, take it how it is, but I think that goal that they want, or that they scored on too, I mean, they bumped into Farkey. Farkey fell on his ass too.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it could have gone both ways. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the refs are getting paid overtime.
No.
Either, right during that time. So it's funny. I think it was like after the 3rd overtime, I was skating off the ice, and like the refs were just like, "Do you want me to teach you how to score?" And I was like, yeah, like
I would love it.
Yeah, I was like, if I could score right now, dude, I would love to.
If you got any tips,
give them. Let me know, because like I would love to score and get off this ice too right now. But I mean, like, you talk about leaving everything out there, and I mean, when's the last time you've ever watched a hockey game go 8 periods, right? And it's like, I think I could be wrong on this, I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure it was like the 5th longest game in hockey history, and it's just like 8 periods alone is insane. Yeah, it's like you prepare to play 3 periods of hockey, like maybe 4, maybe 5, right? Like you never know. But yeah, 8 periods of hockey is like outrageous.
Yeah, almost 3 full games for one.
Yeah. So I mean, it was wild, but yeah, you talk about leaving everything out there, and like we did. We did. And like that's what I was saying to the boys after the game, like no matter how disappointing like it is, like this feeling right now of like losing out, and like knowing that our season's done, and that we only came here and played 1 game, you know, well, kind of.
Yeah. I mean,
1 game.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
1 game on the score sheet.
And so as disappointing as that was, I just like reiterated to our group like how proud we should all be. And going into the tournament, like I think we left on like the Monday, I believe, at 3. We had a little team meeting beforehand, and it was just like, just leave here leave the tournament with no regrets. Yeah. And like we did. And it was just like we gave it as much as we could. And yeah, just like the mental exhaustion after that game, and like even the next day, like I remember Farkey and I were rooming together, and I just remember, I think I woke up at like 10:45, like went to bed at midnight, woke up at 10:45, like slept for so long. And I woke up before Farkey even woke up, and I just remember like I took the covers off, I like stood up, and like like my ankles cracked, my knees cracked, my hips are cracking, like I stood up, and like my legs, like my quads were just like kind of shaking still. I was like, oh my god, I was like, that was torture. Like that was torture. But yeah, and then like that day, like we just had a great day after that, and just like hung out, kind of, I mean, walked around Ottawa as much as we could. Just kind of went like downtown to where like I can't remember what the district was called, but like there's just like a bunch of pubs and shops and stuff like that there. So like as a group, like we kind of all just like walked around, popped in and out of pubs, had some beers, and just enjoyed the time together. And and like I said before, it was just like, as shitty as the feeling was that that our season was done and everything like that, it was just like, well, we gave it everything we could have. Yeah. So it was just like, we can't change anything now. Learn from it, and next year when we're in Halifax, it's like, get the job done.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So in the last interview, you said that this crew felt different, and obviously it was, making the first Nationals appearance in obviously esports history. How does it feel to be part of that crew? Obviously, I mean, we just talked about how it went out the way it did, but you knew this crew was different from December. How does it feel to have proof of it actually being different?
Yeah. I mean, it was a great feeling, especially as like a captain of the team, just like finally getting it done for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I think that just for like years to come, it was just like a barrier that we just needed to get over. And like, even from my first year, like when Helgi was captain, and then like we've had great teams all 4 of my years here. And it was just like, we could have done it each year. We just like couldn't get over that hump. And then obviously, I think it was my second year with Remmer and Feitzy as our captains. Mm-hmm. And then we got upset by the 5th seed U of S in game 3 in overtime. Mm-hmm. And that was a slap in the face. And then, so it was just like a bunch of like little bumps and humps that we needed to get over. And just like finally doing that for the first time in program history was a great feeling. And then, yeah, like that was just like getting over the semifinal hump, and then finally getting to the finals. It was just like, well, like our job's not done. Right, it's just like we still have 4 more weeks together. Let's make the absolute most out of it that we can. And it's just like, we're here. Mm-hmm. We might as well finish the deal. And it was big, especially after like going into the second half, finally getting like our full team into the lineup. Because at the start of the year, like, what did we have? We had like 5 wrist injuries that guys were out. Like Holmesy was in like a couple weeks or 3 weeks into the season, so he had his surgery. Stevie had his wrist surgery. Patty he was battling his wrist surgery from like the previous year with Everett. Mm-hmm. So he was out until January or something like that. I think his first game was a Crow Child, actually. I believe. I could be wrong with that.
I think so.
Maybe the week prior he played, but Mosey had his wrist surgery, and then he had a thumb injury too that he battled with all season. He was wearing like a thumb cast all year that like rose up. It was like from here like all the way down to like his fingers. Like he was wearing a cast all year. Yeah. Who else did we have? I could be missing somebody, but just like so many injuries that we had, like just like going into the season. So for the first half, as good as it was, like we were playing with 5 pretty important guys out of our roster. That's when I knew where it was just like, we're going to be very good this year. Mm-hmm. It was just like, even without these guys, we can win these games.
Still a unit.
Right. Yep. And like, that's what made our team so special this year, I think too, is just like you got guys like, I mean, like Zafir, like he stepped up a lot of ways this year, and what a positive guy, positive influence on the bench and in the locker room and stuff like that. Like he doesn't wear a letter or anything like that, but it's just like, for us, it's just like, if you're on our team, it's just like you lead. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you wear a letter or not. It's just like, you are like wearing the Cougar crest. It's just like you lead without no hesitation. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a letter or not. It's just like you lead. And so yeah, he was amazing. Guys like Dawson Milliken, like that guy is an absolute pony. Mm-hmm. Like he's a horse, and he was awesome for us all year too. And yeah, we just had a lot of guys step up in like really important ways. And then obviously going into the second half, when we started getting all those guys back and stuff, it was just like, holy shit, like we're a powerhouse. Yeah, like we're a force. And just like, and then again, like going back into that UFC, the Crowchild game, getting slapped across the face 4 times. Yeah. And it was just like a big learning curve for our group. And after that, it was a big wake up call to all of us, and then obviously winning like our remainder. I don't know how many games do we have left after that. 7.
After Coachal?
Yeah.
5.
5. Yeah. Okay. So 5 games.
5 in the regular season, and then it was the 4 playoff or 7 playoff ones.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, getting all those guys back, and it was just like, yeah, we're an amazing hockey team, and it's just like put the pieces together. Everything's there. The puzzle can fix, but we just need to put the puzzle together, and we did do that. Just missed out on Game 3 in UFAs.
Yeah. On to brighter moments and getting to specific players now. When we last spoke, you were just getting Vaughn into the Cougars group chat, and then with Leighton Feist not far behind.
Yeah.
What did you think of your 2 midseason additions this year?
They were awesome.
Yeah.
First of all, 2 great guys, like amazing guys. I played with Feisty. He was 16 in Regina when I was 20.
Okay.
And so I had the pleasure to play with him. We were actually D partners in Regina too for a few weeks, which is great. I also played with Leitz's older brother Tyson. I'm pretty sure he was up and down with the AHL on the East Coast for like the last couple of years. But yeah, he's a stellar dude. Super funny. Vonner, like, first of all, on ice, workhorse.
Oh,
right.
I loved watching him play.
The guy just has like an infinity motor. Yeah. And like he plays with like the FU attitude, which I love. And it doesn't matter if the guy's 6'5" or 5'4". It's like Vonner's going to try and run you through the wall, which I loved. Yeah. So that guy's definitely got an attitude on the ice, which is funny because you get him into the locker room, just like so nice. And just right, like just like the nicest guy ever. He's such a goof though, like just a big goofball. And it's just funny. Like, I mean, like I don't think that like I'm that old. Like being like I'm only 24. Like I'm turning 25 in July, but like Vonner coming in as a 20-year-old, and it's just like all like the new terms and stuff like that some of these guys say, like geeking out and like all this stuff. It was just like, what does that even mean? Like, what does geeking out even mean? And it's funny, like we were at Spot On for like a team dinner a couple weeks ago.
Sure.
And Vonner was sitting across the table from me, and him and Jackson Martins, they feed off of each other all the time. They're just like 2 peas in a pod. It's pretty funny. And I think like Marty like challenged Vonner to eat his tacos in under 2 minutes or something like that, and like Vonner just looked at him like he was like out like stupid. He was like, "You don't think I can do this?" And I think he crushed 3 tacos. Like I don't know if you've been to Spa and got their tacos. They're not that size.
No,
but,
they're
like,
not.
I'm pretty sure Vonner scuffled them down like in like a minute and 15 seconds or something like that. And then I was like, I like looked over at him. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" He's like, "What? Like I can't even geek out with my teammates?" I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?" But yeah, just like an awesome dude. What a teammate. Him and Leighton were great at like on ice additions, awesome, but like they fit into our locker room so good. And obviously give a lot of credit to like our scouting guys like Donnie and Sless and like those guys that bring like, because Bert's biggest thing is like he wants to bring character guys in. Like that's the biggest thing, is just bringing character guys into our locker room and like making sure that we can carry on the culture. Like when guys like myself, Mosey, like all the 4th year guys, Tarzi, Simmer, I mean, even like Stevie, Boosh, all those guys are going to be probably departing next year. So like bringing in those kind of guys that are going to be able to keep our culture and stuff like that going. And yeah, what additions though. Great guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. So we spent long enough without talking about this one specific player, Clay Honus. The man could not be stopped this season, even earning the Can West WHL Top Performer of the Year. You didn't play much alongside him because your main partners were Curtis and Leith this season. How was watching Clay this year? And did it ever get to a point where like you knew the puck was on his stick and you just thought this is going to end up on the board at some point?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, 100%. It was just like, that was a funny part. Like Remy and I were on power play too. And but like we were just like, I don't know, we would always joke on the benches, like the puck would go from like Boosh to Hondo to Leeser, back up to Hondo, and it's just like Remy and I were just like standing beside each other, like shoot it, and like Hondo would shoot it and go in, and just like bang.
Knew it.
It was like our job's easy, like our job's so easy. But yeah, like our power play is wicked. I mean, Hondo obviously quarterbacking that unit with I mean, 4 other special players on that unit as well. Like, you can't give credit to those guys too, right? Like, they can bury the puck as well. But Hondo, just like, what a cheat code that guy was for our team this year. And like, again, like an amazing teammate on and off the ice. Super funny. And yeah, obviously on the ice, it's just funny. Just like watching him, it's just like, it doesn't even look like he's working hard or like skating hard, but like he'll skate through 5 guys easily.
Yeah.
Or just like make it look easy. You know what I mean? And, I mean, credit to him. Like, he's had 2 great summers. Just like get stronger, build his body up for pro and stuff like that. And like, obviously that had a major influence on his season this year. He had a monster season last year as well, and then topped it up. I didn't know you could top last season, right? And then he topped it this year too. Yeah. And very well deserved getting like defenseman of the year for U Sports, or player of the year U Sports, and then obviously all of his Canada West accolades. I mean, that was a no-brainer for our, like, that was just a no-brainer.
Yeah, his trophy
like,
got a lot bigger.
Yeah, right. And then like when we were in Ottawa, we had like the ceremonies and stuff like that. Like, we had the breakfast and whatever else with the award ceremonies and everything. And it was just like, every time his name popped up on the screen, it was just like, yeah, he's winning this award. Like, it's broken if he's not winning this award, you know? It's just like, when's the last time a defenseman tossed up whatever he had, 44 points or something like that?
48. I think he finished 10 up on Bush, who was second.
That's crazy, yeah. And like, what a player Bush is too.
Yeah.
He's just like so crafty. Little guy, but like such a rat on the ice too, and just like, I love it. Again, same kind of guy as like Vonner, where it's just like, it doesn't matter what size the guy is. Like, if the puck's in the corner and Bush is, I mean, he says he's 5'7". I don't believe him, but
he's on skates maybe.
Yeah, maybe 5'7" on skates, right? But again, like, just doesn't matter. Like, I joke around with him. He's like a little Tasmanian devil. Like, he just fucking. Oh, shit.
No worries, you're
always swearing.
No,
on
you're
me.
fine. You're good.
We're just talking hockey, so it's easy to swear, you know. But yeah, it's just like, again, it's like, it doesn't matter if the guy's 6'6". It's just like, I looked at the playoff series last year when we play UFC in the second round, and Bush was always lined up with Noah King. Yeah. And I mean, Kinger's like 6'4". Yeah. He's got to be like 210, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's not Bush's size.
No, right? And yeah, like, I'm pretty sure Bush is looking at his nipples on the ice. You know, like, just nowhere near size difference. But yeah, what a player he is too. Just great leader as well on the ice, and knows what to say in the room, and knows how to, he's just such a student of the game and stuff like that, just like how he sees plays and everything like that, and like the amount of video that guy watches as well is crazy. But yeah, going back to Hondo, just like, I mean, there's not much to say about him. Like, I mean, you could say everything about him, but like,
the awards, his performance speaks for himself.
Exactly, right? And it's just like, just come out and watch him on the ice. Just like, makes sense why he won National Player of the Year and Defenseman of the Year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you touched on Zafir being the only graduating player this year. What does him leaving do? Like, what goes out of the locker room with him when he leaves?
Well, I'll start off talking with Zafir in this sense. Like, so I got the pleasure of living with him as well for 2.5, 3 years, because me, him, and Mosey lived together. Okay. And just like, when Zaf came in, he was a 20-year-old. So he played his first half in, I think it was Lloydminster. And then Donnie had recruited Zafir to come in, and didn't even, like, gave Zafir no scholarship money, promised him no ice time. Like, he was just coming in as having the honor to play on the Cougars, right? Yeah. And so Zafir had nothing given to him ever. And he earned every ounce of what he got. And like, whether that was scholarship money or time on the ice, or sometimes like he was dressed up and maybe played 2 minutes. Yeah. But the special thing about Zafir was, like, especially as a player, as much as you want to be on the ice and want to contribute to the team and stuff like that, he was so dialed in on like our culture and just being a positive influence for the guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, well, if I'm not playing on the ice and I can't make an influence there, how can I make an influence? And for him, and like talking to him at home and stuff like that, it was easy for him. It was just like, well, I'm going to be the best damn teammate that you could ever ask for.
Yeah.
And just like, again, student of the game. The guy's so smart when it comes to playing hockey and just like our systems and stuff like that. So he was a big influence on like the younger guys. I mean, even some of the guys who had been there for 2-3 years, like just like systematically and stuff like that, like asking Zaf questions.
Yeah.
And just like, especially on the PK, he took a big role on the PK like this year. And he was like, if that's going to be my role, that's going to be my role. And like, but I'm buying into it 100% and I'm going to know that inside and out. Mm-hmm. And he did. And yeah, just, so like going into like losing him is obviously a big defeat for us, like on bench and stuff like that, and in the locker room, because just like he's just a light in the locker room. He's just like, whether you're making fun of him or like you're just joking around with him, whatever, it's just like he eats it so well. And trust me, that guy, there's one guy on our team that can get under my skin like that. It's Zapper. It's Zapper. He just knows how to pick and pull the right times. And but just like in practice and stuff like that too, like we just had battles, and it was awesome in the sense that it was just like F you in the moment. Like, like I want to kill you right now. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like right after that set's done, or like whenever the practice is over, like just like coming over and just like dapping each other up. It's like, love you, buddy. Yeah. And it's just like, that's the battle and that's the compete that we want in Cougar hockey. Mm-hmm. And yeah, what an amazing dude that guy is. We're going to be friends for life. That's for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, losing him is going to be a big loss next year, but we've got 26 other guys in that locker room that are amazing guys as well. And that, I mean, it's been proven this year that we've all bought into our culture and our structure and everything like that. And so like there's going to have to be step up from other guys in the locker room that are going to have to kind of carry that weight now. And like I have no doubt that guys are going to step up.
Awesome. So the benefit of like not many people leaving, I think like Raji's out, and I think you mentioned Hannes, I think, is also on his way out as well. But you still have Bush. I think Farkas is coming back again next year. Mm-hmm. How confident are you in repeating and getting back to nationals next year?
Very. I mean, obviously getting over that hump this year is like our main thing. And now that we've got a taste of it, like especially being around the national trophy and the Canada West trophy, you're just like, we were there. And like Bert always says it, you're just like, you were there, you felt it, you smelt it, you could see it, mm-hmm. You just couldn't touch it. Yeah. And it's just like, now that you've done all of those things, you're just like, now you just really want to fucking touch it, mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. And anything short of a championship next year is a failure for our team, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. Especially just like being right there all the time. And yeah, like that's like from the get-go, as soon as training camp starts and like we start our team meet, like our player meetings and stuff like that again, that is going to be one of the main things that we harp on all year, is just like we need to keep playing to even a higher standard than what we did this year, because whatever we did this year clearly wasn't enough, yeah. You know? So whatever that is, like figuring it out throughout the season and stuff like that. I mean, it's as short of a season as it is, I mean, it's still long, mm-hmm. Right? Like it still feels long, just because like, I mean, unfortunately we only play 2 games a week. But having last year together, I mean, we're only going to have 3-4 new guys maybe, yeah, right, coming in, and just making sure that they get bought into this, our culture, as soon as they can. Yeah. And then, like I said, yeah, anything short of a Canada West championship or a national title is unfortunately a failure for us. Yeah.
Last question before I let you run off. How was your first year as captain? How would you recap the year, like, in its entirety? How did you feel about the year from start to finish?
Yeah, I mean, obviously huge honor to wear the C for mm-hmm. the guys and for this program. Like I had great captains throughout my 4 years here, and just like taking little bits and pieces of each of them and learning from them. And it was definitely a learning curve for me, though, just like in the sense of you can't be a Tyson Helgeson, you can't be a Connor Blake. I have to be a Kyle Walker, you know? And like, I mean, I was fortunate enough to be named captain from like a players poll and the coaches, obviously. And like what I learned is like I just have to be myself, and it's just like you can't try and do too much on the ice, can't try and do too much off the ice. You're just like do what you do, and you're just like that's the reason why you got voted in. You know what I mean? And I think like the first half was kind of a learning curve for me, because I mean the last time I was captain was midget triple, and like in midget it's just like you don't really know, you know, like you just either get named captain because you're one of the best players, or like you're liked in the locker room, you know what I mean? And what I learned is just like there's a lot of responsibility in off ice, there's more responsibility off ice than there is on ice, I think. And whether that's in like the classroom or in the gym, just like carrying yourself around the school, like popping in and saying hi to people and everything like that, like everybody in the Cougars athletics department, and introducing yourself to your professors, being respectful in that aspect. And then obviously in the locker room, just like that's why I started those players meetings. So it's just like every Monday or Tuesday, just sit down in the locker room and we talk about the previous weekend, how it went, what we could have done better, what we learned from it, that kind of thing. And then moving forward, looking at like our next opponents, how we're going to prepare ourselves for Friday and Saturday starting today. And so like what we're going to do Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and then our preparation day on Thursday is just like we need to make sure that we're dialed in all week on practices and stuff like that, like it makes sure our execution's strong, and just like that sort of thing. And I think that was super what's the word I'm looking for? It was just like super important to do, just in the sense of like also not having the coaches in the locker room, just because like it opens up the floor to everybody to just like be comfortable around one another and like talk about it and everything like that, just having an open floor. And I will give kudos as well to one of our first years, like Justin Lees. He was an amazing dude in the locker room. Obviously a stellar hockey player. Like that guy's going to go play pro for sure, whether it's in North America or overseas, like who knows. But that guy's toolbox is so full. And just like as a first year, like the voice like the weight of his voice that carried in the locker room as well. And he's going to be a great leader of this program one day. And just like going back to like the captaincy and stuff like that, it was again obviously a huge honor but a big learning curve for me, and proud that I was the first captain to bring us to a Canada West championship and a Nationals final. But again, like at the end of the day, I haven't really accomplished anything. Like none of us have. And like you could say, well, it's just like, well, you did accomplish something. Like you finally got over the hump of the semifinals and getting into the Canada West Championship. But
that's not
just
a
like,
banner.
Exactly. And like as a hockey player, it's just like the one thing hockey players all want and like have dreamed of as a little kid. Like obviously you think about the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, not everybody's going to host the Stanley Cup.
No.
Right? It's just like you look at a guy like Joe Thornton. It's just like he's played over 1,100 hockey games. Never got to hoist a cup.
Logan Couture just retired. He's another one of those people that never got to touch it either.
Right? And just like great hockey players, unfortunately, don't always get to hoist a trophy. But like that's all hockey players want. And whatever level that you're at, doesn't matter. It's just like you want a championship. And if you're right there and you fail, it just like creates that much more hunger to want to get it again. And to put your team into that position again. And so moving on to next year, having a year of being a captain under my belt already, and then obviously shaping our team to what it was this year is just going to carry on to next year as well. And I mean, you look at guys like even like Teague Patton, what a dog in playoffs. Like that guy was he was one of our best players.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah,
And-
he was good in the season, but once the pace in the playoffs, he just found an entirely another
just
gear.
a dog,
Yeah.
hey? Like, I mean, and it's funny, like you look at like that, I think it was like that TikTok video or whatever. It was like the football interview. And
Yeah,
he was talking about all of his teammates, and he's just like, Jeremy, dog. Dakota, dog. It was just like, you could go throughout like our locker room. It's just like, and Patty was one of those guys. Like, it started in the U of A series, and it's just like, what a player. And then in nationals, like the one game, I think he had the 2 goals and 2 assists, or 2 goals, 1 assist, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a player. Funny dude. Super funny dude. Yeah, again, just like we shaped ourselves properly this year. Unfortunately, didn't get fully rounded out to get the job done, but there is 28 games next year in regular season to put ourselves into a bye position again in first round. And then, yeah, like we've got 24, 23 returning guys. And then after next year, I mean, we might have at least 10 to 12 guys departing the program. Yeah. So really for all of us, and like we talk about it all the time, it's especially Boosh and I, like we've had lots of heart-to-hearts about like our time here, and that it's like next year is our final year. Yeah. And it's literally do or done. Yeah. Do or die. And
yeah, this time there was no next year.
Right, exactly. It's just like there's no more opportunity to do it again. So it's like this is our time, and if we don't get it done, it's a failure. And I would hate to leave this program anything less than a champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's pretty much all my questions. Thank you so much for coming on. Enjoy the trip in July.
Thank you.
I would love to see you tan. That'd be something I'd love to see you get a little bit darker on. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully I get to talk to you again in September when you're back in, and we'll see how next season goes.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.